Learn how to control those moments where we all know that the fans bring way more energy than a regular game. And I think that's the more important for me. Just control myself, and that's what I learned from the past. And from last year game, I think just the only moment that I probably changed from last year was working a little guy in one inning from a team that run a lot, because that can change everything in one game, especially when we are in those games what are really important, because one run can make the difference.
Murph has said this is a different team. I'm sure you feel the same way. Is there, having been one of those guys that's been there for a while now, I wouldn't say pressure, but a desire, a need to get past the first round finally and make a run?
There's always like something in there, what I can tell you guys is that, we feel different. I can tell even today, like the vibes that we have right now. You can see in everybody's face that we are all like knowing where we are, knowing where we're going, where we want to be, is the key. It's like you say, it's not pressure, but we have to think about it too. We know that we're gonna face a team that is gonna come with hungry to beat us, but we are here in Milwaukee. We have the advantage of that, what is really good, like when you are playing at home. And I think the key for us is just keep it the same way, keep the game simple, make all the plays and all the plays. And just do what we've been doing the whole season, just trusting in ourselves, and just don't be afraid of make a mistake. You just be yourself.
Freddie, you just mentioned about the D-backs running last year, and you watched your team this year be that kind of club. How different do you think this year's Brewers are for you guys offensively?
Excursion yesterday enjoyed an historic day in Mets history in Atlanta, winning Game 1 of their doubleheader dramatically, ensuring the playoff spot, which they take advantage of today in the first of this best-of-3 series. All 3 games will be played here in Milwaukee. The Mets wound up winning 89 games, losing 73. Technically tied with the Atlanta Braves, but they got the 3rd spot in the National League East by virtue of the Braves having won the season series. Meanwhile, the Brewers won the National League Central with a record of 93-69. Both teams feature first-year managers, both contenders for Manager of the Year, Pat Murphy of Milwaukee and, of course, Carlos Mendoza for the New York Mets. Our game time temperature is sponsored by Peerless Boilers and Pavilion Tankless Water Heaters. Go to peerlessboilers.com for a dealer near you. They've got the roof closed here today. It is 65 degrees outside. Beautiful day, really, in Milwaukee. The pregame pageantry is underway. Both teams being introduced, lined up along their respective baselines. And we'll come back to look at the pitching matchup next for Game 1 on Odyssey Mets Radio, driven by your Tri-Honda dealers.
No one plans on heart problems, but everyone should have a plan for them. At RWJ Barnabas Health, we help patients of all lifestyles and medical histories plan for healthy hearts. With the latest technology and a highly specialized team of nurses, cardiologists, and surgeons, our network offers the most complete heart and vascular care in New Jersey. Make plans for a healthy heart with RWJ Barnabas Health. Let's be healthy together. Visit rwjbh.org/heart.
It's the perfect time to replace your boiler and water heater with a new Peerless Boiler and Pavilion Tankless Water Heater. Visit peerlessboilers.com for a dealer near you.
Looking for a college that combines personal mentoring and academic excellence? Discover Malloy University, located just 35 minutes from Manhattan. With over 70 undergraduate and graduate degree programs, including our highly ranked nursing program, you'll find the right path for your future. Plus, get involved with over 45 student clubs and 18 NCAA Division II athletic teams. And did we mention Malloy boasts one of the safest college campuses in New York? Your future starts at Malloy University. Visit malloy.edu today.
Laborers Local 731 has been responsible for some of the biggest and most celebrated infrastructure projects in New York City, like the rebuild of the World Trade Center and the new LaGuardia Airport. Local 731 provides qualified and competent laborers to fill the demand that the construction industry not only requires but deserves. Its members and leadership have fought hard for wages and benefits that open the path to the middle class that every hardworking American deserves. Laborers Local 731. Feel the power.
The Ray Catena family of dealerships is the premier luxury automotive group in New Jersey and New York for one simple reason. They always put the customer first. With the finest inventory of luxury vehicles and legendary customer service, experience the Ray Catena way. Visit raycatena.com.
New Jersey might be small, but there's a lot of wow packed into this little state, so what are you waiting for? Wow your way through NJ. Through sculpture gardens, garden gardens, and loop-de-loops. New Jersey, it's one wow after another after another. Find your wow at visitnj.org. New Jersey, little state, lot of wow.
Play $10 million cash from the New York Lottery. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
The gigantic American flag being unfurled between really the left field line almost all the way out to the right field line. That's how big the flag was as the colors were presented. And our salute to America is brought to you by Flag and Anthem. Real clothes for real life. Flagandanthem.com. The national anthem was performed beautifully by Kendall Conrad. And now about Game 1 between the Mets and the Brewers. Really a unique day in Mets history yesterday because, yes, the regular season was pushed another day ahead so that the Mets and Braves could get their doubleheader in. And what's different between when they pushed it a day up in 1973 and the Mets won the National League East and today is that in 73, they didn't start the National League Championship Series until the following Saturday. This is a whole different story. And those kids, those Mets, they partied pretty hard in the clubhouse last night, but they seem to be all business, not only on the plane last night, Keith, but around the field today.
Yeah, I tell you what, last night was just great to see any group come together after a full season like the Mets had, and it was a roller coaster for not only the Mets, but for all of us that have been able to sit back and watch the story of this team. But what they have been really good at is being handed strange scenarios sometimes they don't know how to handle. Most teams don't know how to handle because of the stress that's thrown at them, but the doubleheader, they handled business yesterday, played Game 2, celebrated, and really as soon as they got on the plane last night coming here, kind of zipped up the tie and focused now on today, which is Game 1 of the National League wildcard. And speaking of focusing today, the pitching matchup so huge in the playoffs. Two guys that have been here before. Starting with Milwaukee's Freddie Peralta. The Milwaukee story in the last few years is that they have struggled to win in the playoffs. Last year, it was the Diamondbacks that were in the Mets seat coming in, swept Milwaukee in a similar situation, and then went on to the World Series. Freddie Peralta pitched in that series last year, did give up some runs in Game 2, which the Brewers did lose. Overall, 4 playoff games for Peralta, the 28-year-old. He has a 3.46 ERA, but as part of Freddie Peralta today that wants a little revenge for him, for the city. That's why there's so much pressure right now put on the Milwaukee Brewers. Peralta this year pitched to a 3.68 earned run average. He struck out 200 this year, which is the second time he has struck out more than 200 in a season. Struck out 210 last year. He has a great fastball and excellent secondary stuff. The slider, the change, and the curveball. Meanwhile, for Luis Severino, it's been a career year for him in a different way. The Severino we knew with the Yankees over 8 years was all heat and some sliders. Well, this year it's been some heat, but mostly sliders, sinkers, cutters. And Severino has turned in 31 starts this year, a 3.91 ERA. He actually has a lot more postseason history than Freddie Peralta does. Severino, so many postseason outings with the Yankees, 11 games, 10 of them starts. He's actually pitched to a 5.15 ERA, some good, some bad. But for him, his last time in the playoffs, pitched in at ALCS 2 years ago when the Yankees got swept by Houston. And so for Severino, too, always looking to prove himself in the playoffs. But I'll say, these two guys will have a slow enough heartbeat today that the moment won't be too big for them. That's the pitching matchup. We'll come back and look at starting lineups on Odyssey Mets Radio, driven by your Tri-Honda dealers.
Just like those pivotal playoff moments, when you're injured, you only have one shot to get it right. At the Rothenberg Law Firm, they make every swing count. With over 54 years of experience, they've been securing victories for their clients when it matters most. From auto accidents to medical malpractice, let them step up to bat for you. Call 1-800-624-8888 or visit injurylawyer.com.
The lawyer for injured ones, injurylawyer.com.
Come home to SNY.
A lot to get to here on our postgame show.
As our team covers your team with all the postgame reactions.
That is as playoff baseball as there is.
On the Mets playoff run. Nissan Postgame Live tonight, immediately after the Mets wildcard game. Only on SNY.
Are you or a loved one living with Crohn's, colitis, MS, rheumatoid arthritis, or a chronic health condition that requires IV medication? Check out ThriveWell Infusion. Say hello to state-of-the-art private luxury suites. ThriveWell Infusion understands that it can be stressful when receiving an infusion, but it doesn't have to be. At ThriveWell, you'll be provided with exceptional care, comfort, compassion, and convenience. Visit us at ThriveWellInfusion.com. That's ThriveWellInfusion.com. Saving lives, drip by drip.
Looking for a replacement window? Find the Anderson 400 Series double hung window at Riverhead Building Supply.
The 400 Series has a timeless style with modern design options to fit the look of your home.
Anderson brand products are the easiest to install, and Riverhead Building Supply makes it even easier.
We'll install your windows for you. Schedule measuring and replacement today.
Visit a Riverhead Building Supply location, call, or visit rbscorp.com.
Diving for that grounder got you grounded? Oof. We've got specialists for that. Coaching Little League leave you in big league pain? We've got specialists for that. Orland & Cohen's top orthopedic team has the specialized expertise, extensive training from the nation's best programs, and years of experience so you can feel better, faster. Long Island's premier orthopedic group with offices open 7 days a week. Orland & Cohen is now in Kew Gardens, too. Visit OrlandCohen.com.
Cheers to a great day and this ice-cold Corona.
You know what would make this day even better? My grandma's carne asada.
Throw in some music.
We can watch the game. Or we could keep it simple.
Corona, la vida más fina. Get your Corona at ordercorona.com. Relax responsibly. Corona Extra Beer, imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois.
Back in Milwaukee, game one of the National League wild card between the Mets and the Milwaukee Brewers, just a couple moments away from American Family Field. Keith Ryan with you for today's starting lineups, sponsored by Ramsey Mazda. Choose wisely, choose Ramsey Mazda. Of course, for the Mets, who are the visitors, 3 road games here in Milwaukee in this best of 3. And the Mets, again, there's so many of us going into the year. Well, what would be a good year? Maybe 4 or 5 games over 500. See where you are. Take your chances at the end of the year. The Mets finished up the season 89-73, 16 games over 500, and of course that is the end result of what we talked about, the long story that is 2024. That included being 11 games under 500 for this team, who ended up finishing 3rd in the National League East. They are the 6th seed in this National League wildcard. Francisco Lindor leads off. He's at shortstop. Jose Iglesias, Candelita, bats behind him and plays second base. The left fielder, Brandon Nimmo, bats 3rd. Mark Vientos at 3rd base. He is the Mets cleanup hitter. And behind him, Pete Alonso bats 5th and plays first base. Jesse Winker, the former Brewer, will be the 6th hitter as the designated hitter. Right fielder Starling Marte will bat 7th. Another former Brewer, Tyrone Taylor, so important to the Mets this year. He'll bat 8th and play center field. And the catcher, Francisco Alvarez, rounds out the lineup, batting 9th. Luis Severino, 31 starts this year, signed a 1-year, $13 million deal. Mets got a lot of bang for their buck, asking Severino for a big performance in the playoffs. He finished his year 11-7 with a 3.91 ERA, right around that lifetime ERA. Severino has a 3.81 ERA, so he did as close to what the Mets would have hoped this year. One more time for New York. Lindor at short, Iglesias at second, Nimmo in left, Vientos at 3rd, Alonso at 1st, Winker the DH, Marte in right, Taylor in center, and Alvarez doing the catching. Well, now for the Milwaukee Brewers, whose fans are on their feet here at American Family Field. Those golden yellow Brewers colored towels are waving here at American Family Field. They have A 93-69 regular season record. They won the National League Central by 10 games over both the St. Louis Cardinals and the Chicago Cubs. It has been a lot of playoffs for this team and this franchise in the last 2 years, but there has not been a lot of deep runs, and they're hoping that this is their year for another chance at a deep run. Second baseman Bryce Terang leads off. Left fielder rookie Jackson Churio, the 20-year-old, bats second. William Contreras, the catcher, hits third. Then Garrett Mitchell will hit cleanup and plays center field. Willie Adames, the shortstop, bats fifth. DH Jake Bowers bats sixth. Rhys Hoskins will hit seventh and play first base. Sal Frelick, amazingly on the roster, amazingly in the starting lineup. Remember, he crashed into the wall against the Mets over the weekend. He's playing right field today, batting eighth. And the third baseman, Joey Ortiz, bats ninth. Freddie Peralta makes the start. 32 starts in the regular season. He was 11-9 with a 3.68 ERA. One more time, the Brewers have just taken the field in front of this ruckus crowd. Terang at second, Churio in left, Contreras the catcher, Mitchell in center, Adames at short, Bowers the DH, Hoskins at first, Frelick in right, Ortiz is at third. The Mets will be in their road uniforms for the next 3 days at least. Could be 2, could be 3, who knows. But in those road uniforms, gray tops, gray pants, the blue hat with the NY in orange interlocking across the front of the hat. The Brewers wear their cream-colored uniforms with the navy blue hat. Well, when it's game time, it's Tully time. The first pitch is brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, the original triple distilled, triple blended, and triple cask matured Irish whiskey. Be sure to grab a Tullamore Dew during today's game. Well, the Brewers had an off day yesterday. The Mets did not. That was as emotional as it gets for all involved. But they are here. They are ready for the National League Wild Card Game 1. And Freddie Peralta wrapping up his warm-up tosses as we send it over to the Hall of Fame radio voice of the New York Mets, Howie Rose.
All right, thank you very much, Keith. And one phrase that's been bounced around a little bit ever since yesterday's doubleheader ended is one the Mets want to hear nothing about, and that's house money. You know, there may be a perception nationally that, well, the Mets have had to get through a whole lot of obstacles in order to play in this wild card series. And so, with the expectations having been low as they were all the way back to spring training and right on through, yeah, maybe there's the sentiment that they're just happy to be here. There is not one player that I have come in contact with over the last, it's a little less than 24 hours, who would subscribe to that. You know, this team is feeling it. And if anybody needed to question their resilience or character, all you need to do is go back to Game 1 yesterday, a game that will live in Mets lore, largely, but not exclusively, because of one swing from the guy entering the batter's box right now, Francisco Lindor. We'll have all winter and years ahead to discuss it, but Francisco might have hit the biggest home run in Mets, certainly regular season history, in the ninth inning yesterday after they had come back from trailing by 3, a 6-run eighth to take the lead. The Braves came back. Lindor won it, and here we go with Lindor batting left-handed. Freddie Peralta's first pitch of the game, right down the middle, a called strike. 0-1, a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. So Lindor finished the year batting at .273, 33 homers, 91 runs batted in. And the 0-1 rides high, a fastball at 94. 1-1 to Lindor. 26 of the home runs that Francisco hit came out of the leadoff spot. And that tied the Mets record for most home runs out of the leadoff spot in 1 year, set by Curtis Granderson. The 1-1 taken outside, a split, and count 2 balls and 1 strike. And, well, old-time Met fans may remember, wait a minute, didn't Tommy Agee hit 26 home runs in 1969? And he was their leadoff hitter. He didn't hit all of them batting leadoff. 2-1 pitch, swing and a miss, big cut by Lindor at a fastball, and the count 2-2. Freddie Peralta does strike out a lot of batters. He was 6th in the National League, struck out an even 200, second 200 strikeout season of his career. Mitchell in center field just scampered several steps the other way. And now the 2-2 pitch, swing and a foul back to the screen. A big cut there by Francisco Lindor and another 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Peralta, who's had some shoulder problems over the course of his career, healthy and effective this year. He made 32 starts, going 11-9. Shut the Mets down on opening day in New York. Now the 2-2 pitch. In there, strike 3 called. A fastball that ran over the outside corner, and Lindor is caught looking. 1 up, 1 down. Jose Iglesias will be next. Defensively for the Brewers, Hoskins at first, Harang at second, Adames at short, Ortiz at third, Churio, Mitchell, Frelick left to right in the outfield, Contreras catching Peralta. Iglesias, a great story this year. Right-hand batter takes the first pitch on the outside corner. A called strike, a slider, and it's 0-1. Iglesias finishing the year on a 22-game hitting streak. He actually thought he had one longer than that. The 0-1 on the way. That's hit in the air, foul down the right field line, out of play. It's 0-2. I told him last night we were on the plane that, hey, your streak is still intact as of opening day next year. As per the rules, those things carry over. And he actually thought he'd had a higher streak back in 2013, but he did not. Here's the 0-2. Fastball in there, strike 3 called. Little bit of a delayed call by the home plate ump, Alex Tosi. 2 straight punch-outs for Peralta. It'll bring up Brandon Nimmo. In fact, the umpire's lineup brought to you by RWJ Barnabas Health. Let's be healthy together. 6 umpires in a postseason game. So Alex Tosi has the plate. Chris Siegel at second. Vic Carapazza at third. Crew chief Alan Porter, is at third. Carapazza at second. First pitch to Nimmo. Swing and a miss. A split change, and it's 0-1. The umpire on the left field line is Mike Estabrook. Brennan Miller, the umpire on the right field line. 0-1 to the left-hand hitting Nimmo. The pitch, swing and a miss. Another changeup. And Peralta, having struck out the first 2, is ahead of Nimmo 0-2. And this big yellow towel-waving crowd comes to its feet. Towels flapping in the air. I'd say breeze, but the roof is closed here, so the breeze is coming from the towels. 0-2 to Nimmo. Here's the pitch. A little bit low. About 40,000 home plate umpires were set to celebrate, but pitch a little down to Nimmo. Brandon hit .224 for the year, but he drove in a career-high 90 runs with 23 homers. 1-2. Peralta delivers. Swing on a high pop foul coming back over our heads. Brandon Nimmo, challenged in the past by Freddie Peralta, 0 for 8 against him. Peralta's 3-0 against the Mets with a 2.60 ERA. Now Peralta to the belt. And the 1-2 pitch. Change up, down and away. So 2-2. The count to Nimmo with Mark Vientos waiting on deck. There's a little patch of light coming down from the roof that basically encompasses the left field line to pretty well straightaway center. 2-2 the count. Now the pitch. Swinging a high fly ball to left field, slicing foul and out of play. And that is further brightened by some sun that's able to peek through from the right field side. When you look at American Family Field, it's almost like an airplane hangar, very similar to Chase Field in Phoenix. 2-2 to Nimmo. Peralta deals. Check swing, he fouled it back to the screen. Brandon barely got a piece of it. I was joking with him before the game. Keith and I were joking on the air yesterday about when he grounded into a double play in the 9th inning with the Mets just wanting to get into the clubhouse and party. He timed it just right. We both had a laugh about it. He knew. 2-2 the count. Now the pitch. Swing on a high pop-up near the pitcher's mound. Peralta's in the neighborhood. He calls, and the pitcher, Peralta, makes the catch just to the right of the mound with 3 Brewer teammates alongside. So the Mets go in order, 2 via strikeout. And in the middle of the first inning in Milwaukee, the Mets nothing, and the Brewers coming up on Odyssey Mets Radio, driven by your Tri-Honda dealers.
Let's go Mets!
Headed to the baseball playoffs? Bring a friend free. Buy 1 round trip, get another free. Easy and affordable. NJ Transit is a home run. For details, visit njtransit.com/baseball.
Looking for a replacement window? Find the Anderson 400 Series double hung window at Riverhead Building Supply.
The 400 series has a timeless style with modern design options to fit the look of your home.
Anderson brand products are the easiest to install, and Riverhead Building Supply makes it even easier.
We'll install your windows for you. Schedule measuring and replacement today.
Visit a Riverhead Building Supply location, call, or visit rbscorp.com.
In 2024, you get more at Ramsey Mazda. More selection and more savings. Like a new 2024 Mazda CX-5, starting at just $29,276. Ramsey Mazda is the proud recipient of the 2023 President's Club Award and the 2024 Cars.com Consumer Satisfaction Award. Visit RamseyMazda.com. That's RamseyMazda.com. Get more in a new Mazda from Ramsey Mazda. Choose wisely. Choose Ramsey Mazda.
When just one life is saved, it wins the game. Just like in baseball, when the same player has 3,000 hits, it's monumental. LifeVac, the original choking rescue device, is approaching 3,000 lives saved. Hi, I'm Arthur Lee, CEO and inventor of LifeVac. With its place, push, pull technology, LifeVac uses suction to clear the airway and save a life. There's only one proven airway clearance device, LifeVac. Mention code BASEBALL for 20% off your order today. Go to lifevac.net.
Last of the first inning, the Mets went down in order against Freddie Peralta. And now Luis Severino will go to the mound for the Mets. His first time out in a week since he was beaten by the Braves in the only game played in the originally scheduled 3-game series in Atlanta last week. Went 4 innings, gave up 7 hits, 4 runs, facing left-hand hitting Bryce Terang. And the first pitch on the inside corner, a fastball, 0-1. Well, Terang's a guy you've got to keep off base. He stole 50 bases this year, 3rd in the National League. And the 0-1 on the way, hit in the air, foul down the third base side, out of play. On the second deck, and the count, no balls and 2 strikes. He's a .254 hitter. He has a little pop, having hit 7 home runs and driven in 57 runs. But the Brewers are a very challenging matchup for the Mets for a number of reasons, all centered around speed. The 0-2, that's line towards first, foul, and almost nailed the first base umpire, Chris Siegel.
That's why we have one behind him.
Yep.
Brendan Miller's about, 30 feet behind the first base umpire, so if one bails, you've got 2 for a little help.
So it's 0-2, but the Mets just happy a one foul, whether it would have hit Siegel or not, because again, it is paramount to keep this guy off base. Here's the 0-2. Swing, and that's slashed foul, left field side downstairs. Well, the Brewers have great speed. They steal a lot of bases. Only the Washington Nationals stole more bases in the National League. They were 17 out of 17 stealing bases against the Mets this year. The 0-2 pitch, punched the other way, a foul ball. Caroms off the tarp, which they won't need today, or hardly ever here with a roof. But the count 0-2 to Terang. And the issue for the Mets is that their pitchers, and even as a group, including the catchers, they do not do a great job holding runners on or throwing runners out. Here's the 0-2. Swinging a liner towards third, under the glove of Vientos, rolls into shallow left. Nimmo after it. Terang on his way to second. Nimmo's thrown, not in time. Terang in at second with a head-first slide. A 2-base hit to start the bottom of the inning. He slashed it towards third. And Vientos, going into a semi-dive down to his knees, tried to make the play and at the very least smother it, but it went under and maybe even off of his glove a tick, and that gave Terang time to get down to second base. I think it did ricochet off either the glove or maybe even Vientos' arm, Keith.
Yeah, he turned the glove over, trying to catch this low-sinking liner before it hit the ground, and I think he just misread it off the bat. It went a little bit lower than he thought because the ball kicked and bounced off his body.
The rookie Jackson Churio, the batter, right-hand hitter, hits a ground ball to the shortstop. Hold, base hit, left field. Terang had a hold up, so he goes to third and stops there. Nimmo's throw comes into Vientos. Churio is on at first, and the Brewers off and running, although not stealing yet. But runners at the corners, nobody out here in the first inning, and William Contreras coming up.
Well, here you go. This is the Milwaukee Brewers pressure, and how do you have pressure in baseball? It's this. Guys that get on, that can run, You had the Mets with their corners in, guarding against a bunt. A ball punched to the left side, and in the blink of an eye, first and third, nobody out.
So let's see what the Brewers do here. You've got a terrific RBI guy at the plate in William Contreras. He drove in 92 runs with 23 home runs. Nets will trade a run as they've got the infield back at double play depth. Good speed on both corners. First pitch, and it's hit on the ground to the right side. Base hit under the glove of a diving Alonso. Into scores Terang. Stopping at second is Churio. And holding at first with an RBI single is William Contreras. 3 batters in. The Brewers have a 1-0 lead on a double and 2 singles.
Well, right now, the Brewers are just really simplifying. That was the easiest swing from Contreras. Severino fastball looking for the outside corner to get ahead. And Contreras just whacked it the other way. Wasn't trying to drive a 400-foot 3-run homer. And we may see Severino now fade off of first pitch aggressive fastballs for strikes. Try to bend a few things here and there and find yourself having to start off with some breaking balls instead of some fastballs here.
Well, here's Garrett Mitchell, the cleanup hitter, a left-hand batter. The outfield straight away against him. And the first pitch is in for a called strike, 0-1 as he gets a breaking ball over, the one he calls his sweeper. Now with the speed of Churio at second, Lindor, the shortstop, holding the bag against him as long as he can before dropping back into position, almost like a first baseman. The 0-1 on the way, swung on and popped up foul. That'll go back into the seats above our heads. So now Severino ahead, no balls and 2 strikes. Mitchell, a kid who was on the injured list with a fractured finger and missed more than half the season. Here's a guy who was a one-time #1 draft pick of the Brewers. The 0-2 pitch to him, rides way high, a fastball. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. He was taken 20th overall out of UCLA back in 2020. A diabetic who has to wear a pump to aid his pancreas. And that scared some teams off at draft day. 1-2 pitch, swing and a foul back to the screen. Give you an example of a player in another sport who was diabetic and scared teams off when he was drafted. A guy by the name of Bobby Clark, who eventually captained the Philadelphia Flyers to 2 Stanley Cups 50 years ago and wound up in the Hall of Fame. 1-2 the count. Severino holds the set. Now the pitch. Mitchell takes a little bit low, evidently. And if you ever wanted to know what 40,000 people exhaling sounds like, you just heard it. The count 1-2. Check that 2-2.
Tell you what, it's good. Pretty good looking pitch. Alex Tosi, the home plate umpire, we were looking before the game. He is 5th in accuracy this year. He's very, very good back there.
Runners lead second and first. A run in. 1-0 Milwaukee. 2-2 pitch. Fastball a little bit high. Alvarez tried to yank it into the strike zone, but could not. And it's a full count now. Well, Churio has great speed at second. Contreras not so much at first. We'll see whether or not Churio might be on the move here. He's not. The payoff pitch swung on and missed, strike 3. Severino gets him with a sweeper, and that's a big first out, particularly with Churio not running from second. Still in scoring position. Contreras at first, and Willie Adames, the shortstop, will be the batter.
And we'll see here if Severino starts off with breaking stuff, just like he did Mitchell for a little success. Watch out for the first pitch fastball.
That's first strikeout of the game, sponsored by Berkeley College. Take a swing at your future with one of their certificate or degree programs. Learn more at berkeleycollege.edu. So, Willie Adames, who had a big year in what undoubtedly is his final season in Milwaukee, 32 homers, 112 RBIs. First pitch taken downstairs. 1 ball and no strikes. Severino missing with that hard sinker. Adames, 251 hitter with those big power numbers, and he strikes out a ton. The 1-0 pitch. High and tight, ball 2. Adames struck out 173 times, 8th most in the National League. Churio at second, Contreras at first, 1-0 Milwaukee as the Brewers bat on the last of the first. Severino to the belt, 2-0 pitch. Downstairs, ball 3, missed with a 97-mile-an-hour fastball. Jake Bauers, another free swinger, a left-handed batter on deck. These two guys back-to-back, Willie Adames and Jake Bowers, strike out an awful lot. 3-0 the count. Now the pitch. He takes it. It's high and tight. Ball 4. Severino doesn't think so. It loads the bases. Well, here comes Jeremy Hefner, the Mets pitching coach, and he needs to get out there because Severino reacted after the call by Alex Tosi of ball 4 by holding his palms upward as if to say, where was it?
Hey, you'd like to have a little body control, a little body positivity there for Severino. The reason for that is Milwaukee sees that, and they know they're looking for an opening to try to pounce. And we got here a couple hours before the game. The roof was open, and then as Milwaukee was taking batting practice, the roof was closed, and I was wondering, well, how will the ball fly in this park? So I talked to some people here in Milwaukee. They say, don't even worry about that. When the roof is closed, this place gets loud, and that is exactly what it is in the first inning. This is a very sticky spot for Severino early in his start.
He desperately wants a strikeout. He's in the middle of strikeout alley here as these Brewers hitters clump together one by one in the middle and towards the lower part of the lineup, including Hoskins on deck, strike out a ton. So Jake Bowers, the batter, with the bases loaded. First pitch. Swing on a high pop-up behind home plate. Will it be playable? Alvarez back, looks to have room, makes the catch on the dirt right in front of the stands. A king-sized out for Severino. 2 men away. And here comes Rhys Hoskins. Well, this guy somehow finds his way into dramatic situations. Sometimes early, sometimes late. Last Friday night, it was early. He hit a first-inning grand slam. And would you believe it? Here he is again in the first inning, batting with the bases loaded, a run in, 1-0 Milwaukee. But if Severino can get through Hoskins, this won't seem so bad. Right-hand batter, the first pitch. Taken upstairs, ball 1. Hoskins batting .214. He hit 26 homers. He drove in 82 runs. He struck out 149 times. Severino has 1 strikeout in this inning. 1-0 pitch. Inside, he hit him. And it'll force in a run. He hit him on the arm with a 97-mile-an-hour fastball. And it is 2-0 Milwaukee as Churios scores from third. Contreras goes to third. Adames to second. Hoskins hit by the pitch. Wouldn't you know it, the Brewers have been hit fewer than any other team in the National League, but Hoskins took one right on the arm there.
With the Brewers being so aggressive early in counts, Severino's tried to shy away and nitpick to the outer edges.
Sal Frelick, the batter, takes high, ball 1, a fastball. Well, already the pitch count rising. That's 22 here in the first inning. Frelick, left-hand batter, the 1-0, rolls slowly to second. Up with it, Iglesias hustles his throw to first in time to get Frelick's side retired. But the Brewers score 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and they leave the bases loaded. At the end of 1 in game 1, the Brewers 2, the Mets nothing on Odyssey Mets Radio, driven by your Tri-Honda dealers.
Let's go Mets!
The elite shine when the spotlight is the brightest.
Shohei Ohtani, the first player to have a 50-50 season.
And it doesn't get any brighter than MLB's postseason.
Bedlam at the bank as Bryce Harper has put the Phillies on top.
Hear every crucial moment of the MLB postseason unfold with the hometown announcers on SiriusXM and the all-new SiriusXM app.
Breathtaking home run by Aaron Judge.
Talk about the postseason on MLB Network Radio, Channel 89.
SiriusXM has everything a college football fan needs.
He's in trouble and down he goes. The ball comes out.
All the big games are on the SiriusXM app.
Down the sidelines, midfield. It's a race. Picking them up, putting them down.
Plus, hear daily in-depth analysis on College Sports Radio, Channel 84.
There's not a lot of holes or weaknesses on that football team, and they've got the goods where you want to have the goods for a championship caliber roster.
Our experts get you ready for game day every day on SiriusXM and the SiriusXM app.
Wake up! Wake up, everybody! This is Steve Phillips from the leadoff spot on MLB Network Radio. Join me and former Major League Baseball players Eduardo Perez and Xavier Scruggs as we react to all the latest news and scores across baseball and have plenty of fun along the way.
Steve, you were so right about that.
I don't know if anybody else thinks we're funny, but I think we're funny.
Why are you putting us or we into this?
The leadoff spot, weekdays at 7 a.m. Eastern on MLB Network Radio, Channel 89, and on the SiriusXM app.
You want baseball? The doggy has you covered. Tune in to Mad Dog Unleashed for the best baseball coverage anywhere. Weekdays 3 to 6 Eastern. SiriusXM Mad Dog Sports Radio, Channel 82.
SiriusXM NFL Radio is your home for the National Football League all year long on Channel 88 and on the all-new SiriusXM app.
With 2 in the first, have a 2-0 lead. We are coming to you live from the Bigelow Tea broadcast booth. Bigelow Tea, grab a mug and tea proudly. Our dear friends at Bigelow, Cindy Bigelow and Tim Richmond, made sure we had the super high octane stuff today.
We needed it.
Did we ever? Although the Mets did not arrive all that late last night. What time did the plane touch down? About 11 o'clock Central Time, something like that?
That sounds about right. It wasn't as if we got back to the room at 5 a.m. kind of thing.
Still felt like it. Here's Mark Vientos to lead off the second. Swings and misses at a first pitch fastball that was center cut from Freddie Peralta, and the count 0-1. So Vientos, the cleanup batter in a playoff game, and I don't think even he saw that coming as far back as spring training, maybe even into mid-May. The 0-1 hit hard up the middle, a base hit into center field. So Vientos picks out a fastball and shoots the first Mets hit of the game into center field. That gives them the leadoff man on here in the second and will bring up Pete Alonso. Consider, though, that Vientos really didn't become the full-time third baseman until mid-May. He was recalled on the 15th when Brett Beatty had been struggling. And Vientos took it, ran with it. Now here is Alonso. And he can reverse his season around in this postseason. First pitch to the right-hand batter. Breaking ball over a called strike, 0-1. Pete certainly did not have the season he wanted, particularly in his walk year. He hit .240, 34 homers, 88 runs batted in. 0-1 the count to the right-hand batter. The pitch, fastball missed inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Like so many power hitters, he can hit them in bunches. But at times, Pete has reverted to his old over-anxious way, chasing a lot. The 1-1 takes under the elbow there, a fastball, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Conversely to the Brewers, having scored a run on a hit batsman being hit fewer times than any National League team, the Mets have been hit by more pitches than any team in the league. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Breaking ball in the dirt, ball 3. So Peralta, who breezed through the first 3 batters in the first, gives up a hit to Vientos and now is behind Alonso, 3-1. Outfield straight away against Pete. Peralta brings the hands together. Now the pitch. Swing and a miss. He challenged him. Threw him a fastball right down the middle. Got a little movement on it, of course, but moved right back over the heart of the plate at 96 miles an hour. Pete Alonso, and when he's right, he might crush a pitch like that.
Yeah, that ball goes off the center field video board. And I mean, middle on 3-1. He kind of knew it was coming. He was on time, just missed it.
3-2 the count. Vientos at first. Long set. Now the payoff pitch. Swing on a pop foul. Straight back out of play. Another fastball, a little bit lower down, but still in the strike zone.
Tell you, somebody talk about no fastball counts, 3-1, 2-0, and sometimes that gets in your mind. You almost maybe are a little surprised to get such a good-looking pitch when you don't anticipate one anymore.
See what he gets here on 3-2. Vientos a short lead at first. Peralta to the belt. Now the payoff pitch. Check swing, did he go? They look to first. He did not. It's ball 4. And the Mets have runners at first and second. Nobody out with the Brewers leading 2-0 here in the second. And Jesse Winker coming up. Now, we weren't sure Jesse would even be on the roster here for the wild card series. He's a former Brewer, and you can hear the relationship. But Winker's had a sore back lately. It's kind of been going around. Maybe he caught it from Lindor. First pitch to the left-hand hitter, down the middle, a called strike, 0-1. But Winker is back locked up on Friday had an MRI here, because again the Mets were here this past weekend. MRI was clean, felt better yesterday, and here he is. The 0-1 pitch, way upstairs, 1-1. So Alonso draws the first Mets walk of the game, brought to you by Total Orthopedics, the experts at getting back to being you. Jesse Winker, 3 for 42 at the end of the year. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball is low. So, 2-1 the count. Starling Marte on deck. Freddie Peralta can be wild. The walk to Alonso, certainly not an aberration. Tied for the second most walks allowed among National League pitchers. 2-1 to Winker. Freddie deals. Swing on a foul, straight back.
In fact, the Winker's in there too. It's the decision at the DH spot. Do we go with J.D. Martinez? Do we go with Jesse Winker? Carlos Mendoza said that the head-to-head numbers, Winker versus Peralta, Jesse is 6 for 18. 2 doubles, 2 homers. He hopes that translates today.
The determining factor. And so now, Peralta comes set. Runners lead second and first. 2-2 pitch. Outside, ball 3. So he went with a changeup to the left-hand batter for the second straight pitch. Now a full count. And the Mets don't have speed on the bases. Vientos at second, Alonso at first. The Brewers have excellent throwing arms in their outfield, too. This is a very talented, athletic team. Peralta spins towards second, chasing Vientos back, not making a throw. That counts as a disengagement, though. So it remains full to Winker. He has been in the postseason before with the Brewers last year and the Cincinnati Reds. Peralta ready. Here's the payoff pitch. Check swing foul, zipping right towards the Mets dugout. So it remains full. And the Mets now in position to start to drive Peralta's pitch count into a little less than comfortable category. He's thrown 32 here, and at this point now, that's a lot because he doesn't have an out in the second inning. Vientos at second, Alonso at first. It's 2-0 Milwaukee. Peralta ready to go. The payoff pitch to Winker. Swing and another foul back to the screen. Well, generally you say, well, this is good news only from the standpoint of pushing that starting pitcher up to an elevated pitch count that may force the hand of manager Pat Murphy later, but no team is going to be in a hurry to get into the Milwaukee bullpen. They have an excellent pen. 3-2 to Winker. Here's the payoff pitch. Swinging a liner to right field. Base hit. It's going to head towards the right field corner. Vientos turns third. He'll score. Alonso to third. He's going to be waved in. The ball slow coming out of the corner. The cutoff throw is dropped, and going all the way to third is Winker. 2-run score, and the Mets have come right back. And isn't that their mantra? They've come right back to tie the game 2-2. Winker is now at third with nobody out.
Jesse gives a look to that third base dugout with his hands to his sides, pushing the air down, saying, calm it down. We've got this. I've been here before. A few of us have been here before. And once again, Jesse Winker wins the one-on-one against Freddie Peralta. You can make him 7 for 19, 5 extra base hits, and this a huge triple to bring in, too.
Frelick, the right fielder, just hurled his relay throw in. It went just over the glove of Terang. Maybe it caught a piece of it because then it skipped a little bit away from Hoskins. And that allowed Winker to go all the way to third. He's credited with a triple. And how do you like that? The Mets hit the fewest triples, along with the Atlanta Braves, of any team in the National League this year. And in their first playoff game, they get a 2-run triple from Winker to tie the Brewers 2-2. Winker's at third with nobody out. Starling Marte coming up, and the Brewers bringing their infield in.
Weird stuff happens in the playoffs. We are finding that out right away.
Winker did not have a triple all year. Here's Marte, right-hand batter. First pitch. Takes a fastball on the outside corner, strike one call. First Mets runs of the game, sponsored by Sloman's Home Security. Real security, powered by real people. Sloman's, the difference is human. 0-1 to Marte. Infield is up. The pitch, sinker is low. So that evens the count to Starling. A .269 hitter, 7 homers, 40 RBIs. Peralta ready, righty against righty here. The 1-1 pitch, way outside, ball 2. He missed badly with a 97-mile-an-hour fastball. So if you thought maybe the Mets were a little sluggish going down quickly in the first inning, they certainly found their Bigelow caffeinated selves in the second. Here's the 2-1 pitch. In tight, almost nicked him. It's ball 3. Missing with a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Peralta now dangerously high in his pitch count. Nobody out in the second. Winker at third. 2 runs in, a 2-2 game, and he's about to throw his 39th pitch. 3-1. Here it comes to Marte. Swinging a drive in the air to straightaway center. Mitchell going back. It'll score a run. Mitchell makes the one-hand catch as he backpedals onto the warning track. Winker tags, scores from third. Sacrifice fly for Marte. The Mets are leading by a score of 3-2. 1 out in the second inning.
Second inning is just so much different than what happened in the first inning, and now the Mets are in front after giving up 2 early runs, and the bullpen is up for the Brewers. A righty up, haven't seen yet who it is, but they're getting somebody up behind Peralta who's a shell of himself from that first inning.
Well, here's Tyrone Taylor, the former Brewer. First pitch on the way, taken outside, ball 1. I do not think it is hyperbole to suggest that Tyrone Taylor had one of the biggest plate appearances, one of the best at-bats in Mets history yesterday. The 1-0 swung on and missed, a big cut. The helmet comes off of his head as he swung at that changeup and obviously was fooled. Nick Mears, by the way, is the righty throwing in the Milwaukee bullpen. But Taylor, when he led off the 8th inning with the Mets down 3 yesterday, had an 11-pitch at-bat and doubled. The 1-1 punched foul into the seats downstairs behind the plate. It's 1-2. That double came off of the previously impenetrable Schwellenbach. I mean, he was unbelievable for the 3rd straight time against the Mets. Spencer Schwellenbach, as Bob Murphy used to say, was wearing them on his watch chain. And then the chain broke. And Schwellenbach left the game and the Mets went to work, but Taylor started it. The 1-2 pitch swung on and missed, strike 3. Got him with a slider. And for Freddie Peralta, his 3rd strikeout, 2 men away.
Kind of have the starter on the ropes here for the Mets. Certainly the damage is done. 3 runs are in. There's now 2 outs. But if Alvarez were to start another rally, I don't know how much longer Pat Murphy would stick with Freddie Peralta, even though Freddie's found it the last 2 outs.
Of course, you manage with desperation in any playoff series, but especially in a best-of-3, even when the games are all in your home park, as they are for the Brewers, just as they were for the Mets 2 years ago against the Padres, and San Diego won that series. First pitch to Alvarez, taken outside for ball 1. Francisco is back to being the only Alvarez on the ball club. Eddie Alvarez, who had joined the roster after September 1st, was not eligible and officially was DFA'd as the Mets had to fix their roster up. The 1-0 swung on and missed, a changeup, and the count 1-1. Remember, teams played all through September with 2 extra players, 28 on the roster instead of 26. So the Mets had a pair down. They also had to rework the pitching staff a little bit. And in an interesting move, Max Kranick is here. The 1-1. Taken low and away, 2 balls and 1 strike.
Who's Max Kranick, Howie?
Yeah, that's going to take some explanation. Was with the Mets in spring training. Didn't pitch in the major leagues all year. Velocity picked up, moved to the bullpen. They want another arm in the pen. 2-1 on the way, swung on and missed. A fastball at 95, it's 2-2.
I believe Max Kranick is somebody, 2-3 innings of relief, bulk effort, high velocity, taking a chance on him with McGill having pitched yesterday.
So Tyler McGill off the roster for this series. 2-2 to Alvarez. Breaking ball low, ball 3. So even Alvarez making Peralta throw a lot of pitches here. He is now up to 48 pitches, not yet out of the second inning. 3 runs in, it's 3-2 New York. Base is empty, payoff pitch. Swinging a high pop-up, playable, right side of the infield. Hoskins, the first baseman on the grass, makes the 2-hand catch, side retired. Mets do some damage as they score 3 runs on 2 hits. No errors, nobody left, middle of the second. The Mets 3, the Brewers 2 on Odyssey. Mets Radio, driven by your Tri-Honda dealers.
Let's go Mets!
If you heat your home with oil, you must hear this message. Low price home heating oil is now available to all our Mets Radio listeners at a fixed price that can save you hundreds of dollars a year on your home heating bill. If you think you're paying too much to heat your home, then pick up your phone, dial 866-OIL-DEAL right now to see how much you can save on heating oil. The Home Heating Oil Service Center is staffed 24/7, and mechanics are available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to ensure your family is never left in the cold. Just dial 866-OIL-DEAL. That's 866-OIL-DEAL. The heating oil line is now open for Mets Radio listeners. Think you're paying too much for your home heating oil or service? Call the Home Heating Oil line now to see how much you can save off your home heating costs. Don't wait. There is no reason to pay too much for home heating oil. You can get the best service, 24-hour mechanics, and a low flat rate for this home heating season, guaranteed. So call now. Dial 866-OIL-DEAL. That's 866-OIL-DEAL.
Hey, New York fans. Phones weren't made to be broken, but life happens. So when you break your phone, Verizon in New York City's got you. Trade in any phone from one of their top brands in any condition, guaranteed, and get a great deal on one of their best 5G phones with unlimited ultimate. Switch now and save. Available at a New York City area Verizon store.
Craving a tasty burger? Well, Smash Burger has you covered. And Smash Burger's now open at 669 8th Avenue at 42nd Street. Enjoy certified Angus beef burgers, signature sides like smash fries, and hand-spun milkshakes. Smash Burger, available for dine-in, takeout, or delivery at smashburger.com.
Well, Luis Severino has a new lease on this game. The Brewers sent 8 men to the plate in the first inning, scored twice, took a 2-0 lead. Remember, though, they left the bases loaded when Sal Frelick grounded out to end the inning. And then the Mets came back with 3 in the top half. The big hit, a 2-run triple into the right field corner by Jesse Winker, the designated hitter. So it is 3-2 Mets. Severino, through 24 in the first inning, faces Joey Ortiz. And his first pitch here is a fastball on the outside corner. Strike one called. Ortiz batted .239 with 11 homers, 60 RBIs. He'll be the heir apparent at shortstop for Adames. The 0-1 fouled straight back out of play, 0-2, with Willie Adames expected to leave as a free agent at the end of the year. Oh, look at the Mets' defensive alignment, sponsored by Orland & Cohen Orthopedic Group. Experiencing orthopedic pain, they've got specialists for that. Here's the 0-2 to Ortiz. Roll towards first to his left. Alonso scoops it up, takes it to the bag himself, 1 man away. Mets have Alonso at first, Iglesias at second, Lindor at short, Vientos at third, Nimmo, Taylor, Marte, left to right in the outfield, Francisco Alvarez catching Luis Severino. So with 1 out, back to the top of the order, and the one guy they've got to keep off base, Bryce Terang. They didn't the first time. He doubled under the glove of Vientos, and the first pitch inside goes to the backstop. It is 1 ball and no strikes to the Milwaukee second baseman. Went 9 for 19 against the Mets this year. 3 stolen bases. They all came in 1 game last Friday night. Here's the 1-0. Swing on a liner over short. Base hit into left center. Nimmo chasing it down. Terang on his way to second. Nimmo's throw cut off by Lindor. Another double for Terang. His second of the game.
Game plan is, as you said, Howie, keep Terang off the bases so he doesn't steal. Well, I guess the silver lining is if he just hits doubles all day, well, you don't have to worry about him stealing second because he's already there. So not a great start for Luis Severino head-to-head against Terang.
And you do have to worry about him stealing third. There is no question that if he sees the opening, he'll go. They have gone to school on the Mets. They know that the Mets allow a lot of stolen bases. And Alvarez has only thrown out 10 in 76 chances. So here is Jackson Chourio. First pitch, fastball in for a called strike. It's 0-1. Chourio singled to left and scored in the first inning. So Severino right to the rosin bag at the back of the mound. Climbs back up onto the rubber. The 0-1 pitch. Swing on a pop foul. Straight back out of play. And the count 0-2. Chourio, this may sound incredible, signed an 8-year, $82 million contract before he played his first game in the major leagues. That's how highly regarded he is. The 0-2 pitch. Check swing. Did he go? They look to first. He did not, says Chris Siegel. Ball one. Chourio made his major league debut against the Mets as the Mets and Brewers opened their season at Citi Field back in late March. 1-2, the right-hand batter. The pitch. Swinging a high fly ball, left center, not really deep. Angling in is Nimmo. Under it, makes the one-hand catch. 2 men away. Terang back to second.
Good see there with Nimmo fighting the sun. Well, the roof is closed, right? What about the sun? Well, the windows, as you pointed out, Howie, are kind of over the first base dugout, and Brandon Nimmo's playing left field, so that sun is staring him in the face at the right angle. Brandon put his hand up for a moment and then raced in and found the ball.
So 2 out and another RBI guy, William Contreras, the batter, which might well mitigate against Terang trying to steal. First pitch on the way, hit high in the air. Left center field, same spot as the last one. This time Nimmo yields to Taylor, and Taylor makes the one-hand catch. Side retired. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left to the end of 2. The Mets 3, the Brewers 2 on Odyssey Mets Radio, driven by your Tri-Honda dealers.
Let's go Mets!
To truly go inside the game of pro football, you need to see things from the player's perspective.
Let's go!
Tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern, catch the Players Point.
Let's go, let's bring the energy!
Join NFL tight end Colin Thompson and Miami Dolphins fullback Alec Ingold as they break down the biggest stories in the NFL.
It's an encouraging way to look at football.
The Players Point. Tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern on NFL Radio, Channel 88 in the car and on the all-new Sirius XM app.
Sirius XM has everything a college football fan needs.
He's in trouble and down he goes. The ball comes out.
All the big games are on the Sirius XM app.
Down the sidelines midfield. It's a race. Picking him up. Putting him down.
Plus, hear daily in-depth analysis on College Sports Radio, Channel 84.
There's not a lot of holes or weaknesses on that football team. And they've got the goods where you want to have the goods for a championship caliber roster.
Our experts get you ready for game day every day on Sirius XM and the Sirius XM app.
You love listening to baseball. You love talking about baseball. You love yelling at your buddies about baseball because they love baseball, and so do we. That's why SiriusXM has the only channel on the radio dedicated to baseball 24/7. It's MLB Network Radio, SiriusXM Channel 89. News, opinions, passionate baseball talk from former players and GMs, plus interviews with players, managers, and executives, and much, much, much more. If you can hear me right now, you've got MLB Network Radio, SiriusXM Channel 89, and on the SiriusXM app.
24/7, 365 coverage of all things NASCAR. All things NASCAR happens exclusively on SiriusXM NASCAR Radio, Channel 90.
SiriusXM NFL Radio is your home for the National Football League all year long on Channel 88 and on the all-new SiriusXM app.
Game presented by MGM Rewards. Vote today for the players you believe had the best performance this season. Terms and conditions apply. See MLB.com/all-MLB for details. The Mets lead the Brewers 3-2 as we go to the third inning. Game 1 of the wild card series. Francisco Lindor will lead off against Freddie Peralta. I get such a kick out of seeing Keith Radd enjoying his first Major League playoff game as a broadcaster. Have fun.
Thank you. Here's Francisco Lindor, switch hitter batting left. First pitch is pop foul third base side and out of play. Well, you know, I feel like a kid today walking in. Going,
you are a kid.
31. Well, you know. I've had my... Anyway, back to the ball game. Lindor, then Iglesias, then Nimmo. And time called by Lindor, who will readjust that shin guard on his right leg, closest to the pitcher. Well, we're coming to you live from the Bigelow Tea broadcast booth. Bigelow Tea, grab a mug and tea proudly. Peralta at 50 pitches already in this game. Deals the 0-1. Taken inside. Lindor twists in toward the catcher, getting out of the way of 93 miles an hour. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. So really right now, Peralta and Severino have had similar games in different innings. Here's the 1-1. Fouled straight back, 1-2. Peralta off to a great start, roughed up in the second. Severino roughed up in the first. Good job in the second. 3-2 Met lead. Lindor struck out looking his first time. Again, Peralta struck out the first 2 with backwards Ks. Peralta kicks and fires. That's chopped foul to the right, stays 1-2. Peralta, it looks like in this inning, is throwing from the stretch only. Does have his windup that he uses too. But I wonder if maybe the Mets saw something in the second inning with his windup. Who knows? Pitchers do all sorts of weird things in games like this. The 1-2. Cracked in the sky to center field. Mitchell on the run to his left, makes the catch. And there's one away. That was well struck by Lindor, but it stayed on a low plane out to center. And to bring up Jose Iglesias. Well, it is an exciting playoff day for all of us. Take a look at some scores brought to you by your local Honda dealers. Contact one for a great deal today. How about the Detroit Tigers, who beat Houston in Game 1 of the AL Wild Card? Here's Iglesias, first pitch. Hit hard toward third. Backhand stop by Ortiz. Sets, slings, in time, got him. And Iglesias does run well. It's a good throw by Joey Ortiz. Got him by about 8 feet. Tigers beat Houston 3-1 behind Tarek Skubal, who's basically going to win the AL Cy Young. 6 scoreless. Houston did not score until the 9th, and they actually left the bases loaded to end the game. So Detroit now needs one more win to eliminate the Astros. 3-2 Mets, top 3. Here's Nimmo. 2 outs, first pitch. In for a strike, 91-mile-an-hour fastball. 0-1. Top of the 9th inning in Baltimore. The Royals have a 1-0 lead in Baltimore. Cole Reagan's pretty good start today. 6 scoreless with 8 strikeouts. 0-1, a little bit low to Nimmo. 1 ball and 1 strike. And of course, we are game 3 of a 4-game day. Coming up at 8:30 Eastern time, the Braves will take on San Diego from San Diego. 1-1 on Nimmo. Here's the pitch from Peralta. Right down the middle, strike 2. A.J. Smith-Shawver going to start that game for the Braves. Michael King, the former Yankee, picked up in the Juan Soto deal, one of many picked up by the Padres in the Soto deal. He'll start for San Diego. 1-2 on Nimmo. Here's the pitch. Got him swinging. Oh, no, he got a piece. Fouled it off. There's a breaking ball down and in, and Nimmo came up empty, and then there was the ball squeaking between William Contreras' feet. So Nimmo just got a piece and stays alive. And again, Peralta this time around has his right foot against the rubber, throwing from the stretch, setting, lifting the leg, and firing. Not worrying about any windup like he was earlier in the game. Mets hung 3 on him last time up. Have a 3-2 lead. Infield back around to the right, outfield straight up. And Peralta fires. Got him swinging high inside fastball, put him away with 93. Peralta comes back out with a 1-2-3 third. We are done with 2.5 from American Family Field. Mets 3, Brewers 2 on Odyssey Mets Radio, driven by your Tri-Honda dealers.
Let's go Mets!
The Honda Ridgeline, Passport, and Pilot are in a league of their own when it comes to rugged capability. Their relentless power and versatility make these vehicles the ultimate challengers for exhilarating adventures and formidable terrain. But it's not just performance that makes these cars special. It's the unwavering determination that inspires everything we do. That's why we're KBB.com's best value brand of 2024.
Contact your local Honda dealer today.
Available all-wheel drive on Pilot based on 2024 Consumer Choice Awards from Kelly Blue Book. Visit KBB.com for more information.
New York Community Bank is now Flagstar Bank. We're the same friendly faces, same great service, and same local branches. Only now we have an all-new name, all-new look, and even more banking solutions. Flagstar Bank. Let's align the stars. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
When just one life is saved, it wins the game. Just like in baseball, when the same player has 3,000 hits, it's monumental. LifeVac, the original choking rescue device, is approaching 3,000 lives saved. Hi, I'm Arthur Lee, CEO and inventor of LifeVac. With its place, push, pull technology, LifeVac uses suction to clear the airway and save a life. There's only one proven airway clearance device, LifeVac. Mention code BASEBALL for 20% off your order today. Go to lifevac.net.
If you think the baseball world is competitive, try the professional job market. But there is a way to give yourself an advantage. Berkeley College. Whether you're just starting or looking to advance, Berkeley gives you maximum flexibility, close personal attention, and exceptional support through graduation and beyond, with tutoring, career services, and more to help you stand out. At Berkeley College, your potential is our promise. Learn more at berkeleycollege.edu.
Bottom 3 in Milwaukee, game 1 of the National League Wild Card Series. Mets have a 3-2 lead. Garrett Mitchell leading off, followed by Willy Adames and Jake Bauers against Luis Severino. Brewers scored 2, bottom 1 against Severino. He came back with a scoreless second. That was after the Mets scored 3 in the top of the second against Freddie Peralta. So here's Mitchell, the only strikeout victim for Severino today. Lefty with a slight open stance. First pitch out of the windup. Swing and a miss. Sweeper down and in. On the count 0-1 on Mitchell. Severino's pitch count is at 35 with that last toss, so in much better shape than Freddie Peralta. Here's the kick and the 0-1. Chop foul at home plate. Stays 0-2. And Severino, as far as pitch count and how far he can go, I mean, he has defied all odds this year to get to where he's been. 31 starts, over 180 regular season innings. It's been a great story. Here comes the windup in the 0-2. Mitchell takes high, 1 ball and 2 strikes. And again, it is so pivotal for the Mets to have some guys like Severino and Sean Manaea, who's probably going to pitch tomorrow, that have been here before. 1-2. Just missed high. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Tried the 98-mile-an-hour fastball. Well, both starters, though, even though they have been here before, have been hit in the mouth early with some runs. Severino peeks over that orange mitt. Turns his feet. High kick. Now the 2-2. Outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Brewers put Mitchell in his cleanup spot. Lefty center fielder, kind of a speedster, not your prototypical cleanup hitter with home run power, gap-to-gap power. Calls for time here, but somebody that would make the Mets nervous if he got on. 11 of 15 in stolen bases in just 69 games. Payoff. Outside, he lost him. Mitchell drops the bat, kind of summons the first base dugout where the Brewers are hiding, and he's on base. So that'll put Severino in the stretch, and here's Willy Adames. Step up to the plate with Mets Connect, the New York Mets loyalty program. Join now for free at MetsConnect.com to earn points and enjoy exclusive benefits. Second walk for Severino, and now Willy Adames. Bottom 3, 3-2 Mets. Nobody out. First pitch righty to righty from Severino. He throws to first, and Mitchell back in safely with a head-first dive. Now, when Jesse Winker hit that game-tying triple in the second inning, Jesse got to third. He was getting the Mets dugout going, and then Willy Adames, who was playing shortstop, he and Winker were kind of getting into it, jawing at each other. Pitch. Fisted foul into the netting by the first base dugout. The count 0-1. Now, Winker is a very emotional player. He's been around with the Reds and the Mariners. Then with these Brewers, he was teammates with Willy Adames last year. Of course, now with the Mets. And as Mets fans know, when they signed, or I should say traded for Jesse Winker, they knew the type of player they were getting. Very intense. Severino's 0-1. Chop foul behind home plate. 0-2. And it turns out, just getting to know Jesse Winker a little bit more this year, he's the guy that you're happy he's on your side because he's going to get in the head of everybody else that he's playing. And of course, for this time with the Reds, waving at those Citi Field fans, the Mets know all about that. So Adames and Winker getting into it. 0-2. Fought off foul to the right. Adames flicks it away to stay alive. 98-mile-an-hour fastball there from Severino, sponsored by Spectrum, a connection built for everywhere. That's Life Unlimited. That's Spectrum. It's ahead 3-2, third inning. Mitchell is yet to bluff or move over there at first base. Alonso holds him. 0-2. Missed up high with 97. Ball and 2 strikes on Adames. Adames walked his first time on just 4 pitches. Lifetime against Severino, 4 for 11. Pretty good numbers. And a homer. 1-2. Way outside. Another breaking ball. That was the cutter. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Behind Adames, the lefty, Jake Bauers. Iglesias Lindor up the middle. At the edge of the infield, they're looking for a double play. Vientos deep and guarding the line at third. 2-2. Fought off, foul again to the right, and out of play. Adames wearing bright green cleats, same color arm guard, yellow batting gloves, white colorful around that cream-colored Brewers uniform. Severino bends to the waist, has his sign, straightens. 2-2 pitch. Fouled back, and now Adames seeing Severino more and more and more here. We'll see coming up next. The 7th pitch of the at-bat. Outfield straight up on Adames, who has a ton of power. He, Hoskins, and Contreras, the three guys you're afraid could hit it out. Runner at first. There he goes for second. 2-2 pitch. Popped him up over home plate. Alvarez walking toward foul ground near the umpire spot. Makes the catch behind the dish. And Mitchell goes back to first. Well, for Severino, he'll take it. A ball not put in play in fair territory off the bat of Willy Adames. And Alvarez turned, flipped off the mask. Adames ran up the first baseline. The umpire ran out of there. Severino ran in from home plate because he saw Alvarez making the catch, but also Severino's the kind of guy, if he needs to make a catch, he'll go get the ball as well. So 1 on, 1 out now for Jake Bauers. Bottom 3, 3-2 Mets. Pitch. Lefty takes in tight, 94-mile-an-hour fastball, ball 1. Bauers last year with the Yankees. And I remember him from a ball that Brandon Nimmo hit over his head to win a walk-off against the Yankees last year at Citi Field. First year with Milwaukee here. Lefty batter. Throw to first. Mitchell back in safely. So today the Brewers again have not tried to run yet on Severino or on Alvarez. It is a kind of tandem group there. You're not just running on one or the other. Keeping Mitchell close. 1-0. A little bit high. Fastball. 2 balls and no strikes. Now the Brewers again, as Howie mentioned, 17 for 17 against the Mets in stolen bases. They've been perfect. Not a great matchup. The Mets doing what they can to try to stave it off. Infield back and around to the right. 2-0 pitch. Bauers rips it down the right field line. Foul. Pulled it, hooked it into the netting. Some of the fans reacted initially, and then I think some other fans who didn't see the ball saw the ball kick off the net onto the grass and reacted positively, thinking that ball might have been fair. But it was most definitely foul to the right field side. And if we didn't tell you the truth, we have 2 umpires guarding the lines here in the playoffs. Mike Estabrook down third, and Brennan Miller was the umpire down the first baseline, checking in on that. 2-1. Slam towards second, base hit going into right field. Mitchell hits second, turns for third. Taylor up with a throw toward third, cut off by Lindor at second. Mitchell slides into third. Jake Bauers has a single to right. And here come the Brewers, first and third, and 1 out. Bauers is just one of those guys, too, that Milwaukee goes out and gets. He's a 199 hitter during the regular season, and he's in the lineup here in the playoffs. Now, this is the kind of guy that the Brewers get. And now here's Rhys Hoskins.
Yeah, what a surprise at a big spot, even this early in the game.
3-2 Mets. Severino dying for a double play ball or a strikeout. Last time up, Hoskins was at the plate, bases loaded. He got hit by a pitch to bring in the second run, made it 2-0. First pitch. Hit hard towards short. Lindor's got it. Flipped to second. 1 on to first. Double play. Severino screaming out. He gets exactly what he needs. 6-4-3. A one-hopper into Lindor's lap. And he gets the Mets out of the third inning. Brewers had first and third, but do not score. We go to the fourth at American Family Field. Mets 3, Brewers 2 on Odyssey Mets Radio, driven by your Tri-Honda dealers.
Let's go Mets!
If you want to win your fantasy football league, you need to listen to Fantasy Sports Radio. From lineup decisions to daily fantasy to waiver wire advice, injury updates, and so much more.
You cannot afford to drop a running back.
Our experts will help you dominate.
I think there's value there on Austin Eckler in PPR formats.
Set your lineup with Fantasy Sports Radio. Your home for fantasy football all season long. Channel 87 and on the all-new SiriusXM app.
Hey everyone, it's Justin Turbin at your 24/7 home for hoops all year long is SiriusXM NBA Radio Channel 86 and the SiriusXM app. Just search NBA Radio.
Every night after the final out, the Round Trip Roundup brings you the scores, highlights, and analysis from every game across Major League Baseball, all in less than 30 minutes.
Swung on and missed, strike 3 and a no-hitter.
It's the perfect way to get caught up on all the night's biggest home runs and best performances.
And a high drive, deep right center.
It's the Round Trip Roundup on MLB Network Radio every night on SiriusXM Channel 89 and every morning on the SiriusXM app.
SiriusXM NFL Radio is your home for the National Football League all year long on Channel 88 and on the all-new SiriusXM app.
This is John Paul Morosi. On the new SiriusXM original podcast, The Road to Cooperstown, I sit down with Hall of Famer Joe Mauer.
Was probably the second or third concussion in a short period of time that I received. Looking back, you wish you maybe would have done things a little differently.
The Road to Cooperstown airs Saturday at 9 a.m. Eastern on MLB Network Radio, SiriusXM 89, and the all-new SiriusXM app. New episodes drop every Tuesday wherever you get your podcasts.
Now, Mets take their 3-2 lead over Milwaukee in Game 1 to the top of the fourth innings. Luis Severino got a huge double play ball. One out, first and third, facing the villain that is known as Rhys Hoskins. And Severino doctored up a 6-4-3 double play. That is the textbook play of the game. Brought to you by Malloy University. At Malloy, you'll think about your future in a new way. Mark Vientos leads off the fourth against Freddie Peralta. First pitch, swing and a miss to the breaking ball. Now 0-1.
I also wonder about the immediate future of the pitcher, Freddie Peralta, because they've got Aaron Ashby throwing in the bullpen as we speak.
Here's the 0-1. Vientos chops it foul, pulling it down third. That is strike 2 and pitch number 62 for Peralta. Now it's amazing. You look at what he's done so far. Lindor, Iglesias, Nimmo down without a whimper. 0 for 6. Those are the top three guys in the lineup. Well, Mark Vientos was the guy up in the second inning that began the run of 6 great at-bats for the Mets and 3 runs. And now Freddie Peralta is coming right down that street again here. Vientos called for time, now climbs in. 0-2. Fought off foul to the right and out of play. Well, for the Brewers this year, this is a huge first game because their starting pitching is okay. Their bullpen is phenomenal. Freddie Peralta is their ace. They kind of really need to win this first game behind a strong start. Can't afford to lose them early. 0-2 again. Breaking ball in the dirt. Vientos lays off. It's a ball and 2 strikes.
If they start, say, Frankie Montas tomorrow, the Mets saw him over the weekend and I would not call his performance impressive.
Agreed.
Plus, he took forever.
There's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Spun one, a change up, down and in. Vientos swung right over the top. Well, Peralta with his 5th strikeout. 4th inning is sponsored by Cars for Kids. That's Cars with a K. To donate your car today. So here's Alonso. Mets ahead 3-2. Top of the 4th. Roof closed at American Family Field in Wisconsin. First pitch righty to righty from Peralta. Hit hard on the ground to third. Ortiz to his left. He's got it. Whips it across in time. 2 down. So Freddie Peralta may be feeling the fact that there is a reliever up. Not only the bullpen, but a lefty. And here's lefty Jesse Winker. Of course, Freddie Peralta is going to stay in this game. I do know, again, as you said, they have Ashby up, but maybe if Peralta had gotten in further trouble. Booze for Jesse Winker, who calls for time before digging his cleat into the back of the batter's box. And again, the booing is not because of the jawing I mentioned from Winker hitting that triple, him and Willie Adames, but I guess it's the Winker performance from last year. It was not great, but Winker was hurt. Pitch. Lefty takes outside with ball 1. As he told me when the Mets were here for that final trip a couple of days ago, my body was shot. Just did not physically have it last year. Played 61 games, hit a .199 and hit 1 home run. The 1-0. Bouncing ball up, and what a grab by Peralta. He fields and underhand flips to first for the out of 1-2-3 inning. It hit his glove, rolled up and down his arm like he was a circus performer. And he handled it nicely, and he handles the Mets in the 4th. 3-2 New York, the lead in Milwaukee. We go to the bottom of the 4th. On Odyssey Mets Radio, driven by your Tri-Honda dealers.
Let's go Mets!
An orthopedic surgeon can replace a damaged joint, but they can't replace time. For you, or for the person who has to drive you around. That's why you need a surgeon who's close to home. At RWJ Barnabas Health, we have the specialized care you need to get moving again. Do it right. Here. Visit rwjbh.org/ortho. RWJ Barnabas Health. Let's be healthy together.
Laborers Local 731 has been responsible for some of the biggest and most celebrated infrastructure projects in New York City, like the rebuild of the World Trade Center and the new LaGuardia Airport. Local 731 provides qualified and competent laborers to fill the demand that the construction industry not only requires but deserves. Its members and leadership have fought hard for wages and benefits that open the path to the middle class that every hardworking American deserves. Laborers Local 731. Feel the power.
You can count on our friends at Ridgewood Savings Bank to show you the community banking difference with cutting-edge conveniences and a century-long tradition of award-winning service. Ridgewood is a financial partner you can count on today, tomorrow, and all of the years to come. Whether you prefer to bank at your local neighborhood branch, from home, or on the go, they're always here to help you reach your goals. So let our friends at Ridgewood be the full-service banking partner you can count on to support you in your financial journey. Visit ridgewoodbank.com to find out more. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Do you need to upgrade your wardrobe this fall? Visit flagandanthem.com for premium quality clothes without the premium price tag. Super comfortable flannels, jeans, and quarter zips, even jackets and boots. Get 25% off your order with code METS24. Flag and Anthem, real clothes for real life.
Bottom of the fourth inning in Milwaukee. Mets leading in game one. Ahead 3-2 over the Brewers. Sal Frelick, Joey Ortiz, and then the top of the order, Bryce Terang, due up against Luis Severino. 53 pitches for Severino. Gave up 2 early runs in the first inning, faced 8 batters, and has survived to succeed over the next 2 innings. Frelick grounded out his first time. Skinny left-hand hitter. First pitch taken high and outside with ball 1.
Long way to go, but we may look back on Frelick's last plate appearances as the pivotal one for the day.
They have the bases loaded, and he grounded out to end the inning. Here's the 1-0. High and in. Severino misses, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. Well, little did we know we'd have a seesaw start to this first game. Brewers scored 2 in the bottom of the first.
We should be used to it now.
I know. The Mets scored 3 in the top of the second. I thought, here we go again. There comes the 2-0 to Frelick. Shows bunt, pulls back, takes a strike. Vientos was crashing in from third. Frelick pulls back. That is Sal Frelick's game. He is a short, skinny speedster lefty. You'd kind of never know it, but he's a first-round pick. 2-1. Pumped in there at the knees. Severino gets strike 2. Frelick is the exact body type of game that the Brewers want here. Speed, defense. Outfield defense is terrific. But for a first rounder, you wouldn't expect that kind of body type, that kind of player. 2-2. Missed inside. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
That speed compromised a little bit, though, because of the hip injury.
You think of guys like David Wright. Guys that can hit for power. And Frelick trying to get on here. Severino has him 3-2. Pitch is pulled toward first, over Alonso's head, dunks into right along the line. Frelick looking for 2. Marte cuts it off, spins, fires, no throw. It's cut off in shallow right by Iglesias. Double for Sal Frelick. And again, it's a double that most guys might turn on that, hit it over the first baseman's head, settle for a single. Not Sal Frelick, too quick.
And any chance that Marte might have had, because he's got a great arm, was compromised because of how he had to play that ball. When he fielded it and was trying to get into position to make his throw, he basically was on his heels, and so he couldn't really lean into the throw, and that made it easy for Frelick to get to second.
Corners come in, pitch to Ortiz, right down the middle of the righty. Severino gets ahead, 0-1. So now the tying run is at second base with nobody out. And behind Ortiz, Terang, Churio, Contreras, top of the order for Milwaukee. Ortiz grounded out his first time to Alonso. 0-1. Outside with a sweeper. Great backhand shot by Alvarez, flinging the glove to the other batter's box. 1 ball and 1 strike. And Ortiz giving a look to Jason Lane, who is the third base coach for the Brewers. They're the type that could lay a bunt down right here, which is why the Mets are still bringing the corners in. Alonso at first, Vientos at third. 1-1. Little ground ball pulled foul at the third base line, and it's 1-2. Hey, Mets fans, when it comes to heating efficiency, Peerless Boilers and Pavilion tankless water heaters are in a league of their own. So go to peerlessboilers.com for more info. And remember, Peerless Boilers are the world's best built boilers. Ortiz digs back in. Nobody throwing in the Met bullpen. Severino at 62 pitches. Holding on to a 3-2 lead. 1-2 pitch. Outside corner, got him looking, 98. He sits Joey Ortiz down, second strikeout of the day, and a big one for Severino. And now back to the top of the order, and lefty Bryce Turang, who has been an absolute pest again against the Mets. And so before the at-bat to Turang, who has 2 doubles, Francisco Alvarez walks out of the mound, joins the entire infield together to talk about this and calm things down for Severino. Now Turang during the regular season, again, such great offensive numbers. He was 7 for 7 himself in stolen bases against the Mets, and somebody that kind of took the rest of the weekend off after such a big Friday in that last 3 games the Mets played here in Milwaukee. A little tune-up series. He did so much tuning up on Friday, they just sat him for the rest of the weekend, basically. And can Severino get him out? He is such a proverbial spark plug. Big strikeout for Severino to wrap up the second time through the order. Bottom of the 4th inning, Mets up 3-2. Runner at second base. That's Sal Frelick. Pitch. In at the knees, 95-mile-an-hour sinker, strike 1. Alonso is along the line at deep at first. Iglesias is deep at second against the lefty. Lindor is basically right behind Frelick, keeping him close. Vientos by the bag at third and in. 0-1 slash foul the other way into the seats, and it's 0-2. Jackson Chourio, phenom left fielder, waits on deck. Severino goes for the rosin bag at the back of the mound. I mentioned the Mets don't have the bullpen up because we've already seen Milwaukee have the bullpen up behind Freddie Peralta. Lindor keeping the runner close. 0-2. Popped him up, foul into the seats down the third base line behind the dugout.
It's amazing, isn't it? In this day and age of huge strikeouts, you look at Turang. They'd love to strike him out here. He has struck out 105 times in 621 plate appearances, including today. That's not considered that much anymore, believe it or not, relative to the rest.
0-2. Hit hard but foul deep down the left field line again. Severino continues to fill up the zone here against Turang. He is ahead of him again. Turang in the first inning had 2 strikes on him. Fouled off pitch after pitch and doubled. Doubled in the second inning early in the count. But here, Severino will try his 5th pitch. 0-2 again. Way outside. This with a changeup, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. Frelick at second base. Already seen that base hit to right turn into a double pretty easily, so I wonder how much that bone bruise is really bothering him. But Lindor is keeping him close, playing right behind him. 1 out, bottom 4. Severino set. 1-2. Just missed low with a breaking ball, a sweeper. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Severino, as far as his ability to generate strikeouts, it's not been as much as he has in years past. The league strikeout rate is about 22%. He's under that this year, just by a smidge. He's had a tough time putting these Brewers hitters away on strikes today. 2-2. Pitch to Turang. Line foul down the left field side, nestling behind the tarp. It stays 2-2. You could just get the sense as Severino's at 70 pitches. Neither Peralta nor Severino are going to turn in the old 7 innings of beautiful baseball today. They are grinding right now through really good at-bats on both sides. Tying run at second base, bottom of the 4th inning. 3-2 Mets. 1 out. 2-2 again. Turang, it's a bouncing ball, shortstop hole. Lindor to his right, stops it, throws to second as Frelick retreats. He is safe. It's an infield hit for Turang. He's 3 for 3. First and second, 1 out. Couldn't advance the runner. Mets couldn't get an out. Just stays in the infield, and there are 2 on for Jackson Chourio.
Now, they really haven't tried to run much, and you wonder whether or not, even with Chourio the batter, a guy who really came on around mid-season and drives in a lot of runs, would they try to take advantage of Severino and Alvarez here and perhaps try the double steal? It's always in your mind with this Milwaukee club, regardless almost of the situation.
Towels waving around American Family Field. 2 on, 1 out. Pitch to Chourio. Swing and a miss. High sweeper. Nothing in 1 on the young righty. 20-year-old Jackson Chourio, youngest player in baseball when he broke in this year against the Mets. He's had a great regular season. Frelick, the tying man at second. Turang on at first. 3-2 Mets. 0-1. Churio lines one up the middle, a base hit going into center field. Frelick rounds third. He's coming home. Taylor bobbles the ball. The runner, Terang, goes to third. And now Churio goes to second. Nobody was covering. Tie game. RBI single for Churio. It's 3-3 in the bottom of the fourth. And the Brewers have second and third and one out.
Taylor bobbled the ball, and that made it elementary that Frelick would score. Then it was about Terang going to third, but nobody was at second base.
Amidst the chaos and the pandemonium in this building, Jeremy Hefner is going to the mound. Churio is going to get a double out of this.
Alonso had gone towards the mound for a potential cutoff throw, and Iglesias, the second baseman, is heading back towards first base to cover that area.
So the meeting on the mound right now with Jeremy Hefner and Luis Severino, the entire mid infield at 73 pitches. Brewers are threatening still, second and third, one out. Jose Buto starting to warm up in the Mets bullpen. Again, today, after yesterday, and including Sunday, a fairly compromised Mets bullpen. Edwin Diaz may or may not be available. Phil Maton may or may not be available. Yulin probably not. You never know. But it's a little early for that right now. Here's William Contreras. This place is rocking. Second and third, one out, tie game. Pitch. Check swing, pitch down, he went. Strike one. Breaking ball low and away. Contreras couldn't hold up. So Frelick on and in. Terang on and over. He's at third. Churio to second. He's tied the game. Middle infield, back corners in. 0-1. Hit high in the air, right field line toward the corner. Marte heading over to the sidewall. It's foul into the seats. Now Marte really had to follow that ball all the way over.
And potentially a break for the Mets that it went out of play, because chances are that Terang, even against the arm of Marte, who was deep in that corner, would have scored easily.
I mean, you pop the ball up on the infield, this kid might take off. Yeah. You never know with Terang's aggressiveness. He's in third, hands on his hips. Vientos right there guarding the line. 0-2. Pitch. Down and in. Missed with a breaking ball. Alvarez was set up away. Received that sweeper down and in. So Severino missed his spot. Goes back, grabs a little of that rosin to tack up legally his right hand to try to get a grip on this next pitch. Churio at second, Terang at third in a tie game. The 1-2. Breaking ball is low. Contreras lays off another sweeper. That's four of them from Severino in this at bat. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And again, just as it was with Bryce Terang, who had the infield hit, Severino got him to 2 strikes, couldn't put him away. He has only struck out 2 hitters. The 2-2 again. Bouncing ball is short. Lindor playing back. This will score a run. He fields, double clutches, fires just in time to get Contreras. Terang scores to give Milwaukee a 4-3 lead. Churio down to third with 2 outs. Well, the Mets are getting ready for what they feel like will be a day they need a lot of runs, so they're going to trade an out for a run, and it's a run that gives Milwaukee the lead.
I think with 2 in scoring position this early in the game, you had to do that.
Now, the way these guys run, a little bleeder, a little bouncer, could have scored 2. So the Mets playing back, get the out, 2 down. Bottom of the fourth, 4-3 Milwaukee. Here's Garrett Mitchell with a runner at third. Right side of the infield is deep. First pitch. That's lined in the air to right. Marte in a couple of steps, leaning forward, makes the catch. Inning over. Mets walked into the inning with a lead. They walk out. The Brewers have the lead. 2 calls from Milwaukee. They're up 4-3. We go to the 5th on Odyssey Mets Radio, driven by your Tri-Honda dealers.
Let's go Mets!
Sports Grid Radio on SiriusXM has you covered this NFL season.
A clash between last year's NFC South champions and their division rival gets Week 5 of the NFL underway, with the Buccaneers traveling to Atlanta. The line opened with the Falcons as a 3-point favorite and a total of 43.5. Make sure you tune into Sports Grid Radio to stay up to date on all the latest.
The place to get the winning edge over the sports books this football season is Sports Grid Radio, channel 159 in the car and on the SiriusXM app.
Are you regretting eating that gas station hot dog? Yeah, we know. We've been there too. This is a message for baseball fans like you. Did you know that you get a channel that's talking baseball 24/7 as part of your SiriusXM subscription?
What?
Our lineup includes shows hosted by former big leaguers and executives. Plus, you'll hear from 17 managers each week. MLB Network Radio is on SiriusXM Channel 89, or just search MLB Network Radio on the SXM app. SiriusXM Sports. We're more than just a game.
You love listening to baseball. You love talking about baseball, and so do we. That's why SiriusXM has the only channel on the radio dedicated to baseball 24/7. It's MLB Network Radio, SiriusXM Channel 89. News, opinions, passionate baseball talk from former players and GMs, plus interviews with players, managers, and executives, original specials, and much, much, much more. All baseball, every day, on your radio. If you can hear me right now, you've got MLB Network Radio, SiriusXM Channel 89, and on the SiriusXM app.
Ray Hudson here with an important announcement. You can listen to your favourite SiriusXM FC shows on the all-new SiriusXM app, now available for all subscribers.
Mets fans, this is Carlos Mendoza, and you're listening to Mets Baseball on SiriusXM.
Go to the fifth inning. Milwaukee now in front of the Mets. 4-3 after 2 in the bottom of the fourth against Luis Severino. It has been a grind for both starting pitchers. In fact, the Milwaukee starting pitcher, Freddie Peralta, is done. 4 innings, gave up 3 runs, 2 hits, and now the Brewers will dig into their bullpen with the lead. Yoel Payamps comes on here, Howie, in the 5th.
All right, thank you very much, Keith. The Mets saw Payamps on Saturday when the Brewers threw a bullpen game and combined to shut the Mets out on 2 hits. First pitch to Marte, taken high and tight for ball 1. They used 6 pitchers. Payamps worked the 6th inning against the top of the Mets order, Lindor, Iglesias, and Vientos, and struck out the side. The 1-0 on the way. Marte hits it in the air to deep left field. Chourio back at the track, at the wall. He jumps. He makes the catch. I don't think he took a home run away from Marte, but as Chourio drifted back, he was in right up against the wall, reached up, and getting another look at the replay. He might have now.
I think this game should be tied. Chourio went to the top of the yellow tape in left field and just slickly put the glove up and yanked it back. Yoel Payamps' heart is pounding. That was right at the top of the wall.
Tremendous play by Chourio. And now Tyrone Taylor, the batter. And the first pitch to him. Slashed foul straight back out of play. 0-1. As he went back to that wall, he reached all the way to the top of that yellow stripe. And there's a little canopy at top of that and then a back wall. And if anything, and here's the 0-1, it's taken for a called strike, 0-2. That might have been one of those situations where it could have grazed the canopy and we would have been checking video to see if it got a piece of the orange or yellow stripe. The yellow stripe's in play. The 0-2 pitch taken a little bit low. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 5th inning sponsored by ELEC 825, building our future. Taylor struck out his first time. And here's the 1-2 from Payamps on the way. Breaking ball in the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Scoreboard update brought to you by the New York Lottery. Play the new scratch-off games for your chance to win. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY. Couple of games over with in the American League. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a drive to left. Deep. Back goes Chourio. Stumbles. Reaches up. Can't get it. It goes to the wall. Picked up by Chourio on the warning track. And putting on the brakes at second is Tyrone Taylor. So Chourio, perhaps basking in the glow of a brilliant catch, looked like he got a little tangled up with his footwork there and winds up missing a ball that results in a Tyrone Taylor double.
He had it and lost it. It hit off the top of his glove. He went over from left center toward right and not back. And that little move cost him because he tried to make up for it then by going straight back.
So now Francisco Alvarez with a tying man in scoring position. Bats with 1 out. And the first pitch on the way. Swing and a high fly ball to left. Deep but playable. Chourio back. Waiting, makes the one-hand catch, 2 men away. Chourio fires the ball back in. Adames, the third baseman, or at least Adames, the shortstop, takes the cutoff throw for the second out. But this is instructive here because this is 3 pretty well hit fly ball outs, one resulting in a spectacular catch against Payamps. Much different look than what the Mets saw on Saturday when he mowed him down, striking out the side. Now he faces Lindor, one of those guys who struck out against him. First pitch, Lindor batting left-handed now, takes a fastball high for ball one. It's a 96-mile-an-hour fastball from the 30-year-old Payamps out of the Dominican Republic, on in relief of Peralta. Here's the 1-0 to Lindor. Fastball high, ball two. Detroit beat Houston 3-1 behind Tarek Skubal, Triple Crown pitching winner in the American League. Went 6 innings, gave up 4 hits. The Royals beat the Orioles in Baltimore 1-0. Pitch to Lindor, 2-0, foul straight back and out of play. It's 2-1. Cole Reagans went 6 scoreless, allowing 4 hits, striking out 8. The only run, Bobby Witt Jr.'s RBI single in the 6th inning. 2-1 to Lindor. Here's the pitch. Way inside, almost nicked him in the leg. Ball 3. A little bit later on, Atlanta will be at San Diego. Right here, the Brewers 4, the Mets 3, 2 out, top 5. Taylor at second. 3-1 to Lindor. Low, ball 4. So Lindor draws the walk, and it'll bring up Jose Iglesias as we come to you live from the Bigelow Tea broadcast booth. Bigelow Tea, grab a mug and tea proudly. Let's pause for station ID.
This is Steve Phillips from MLB Network Radio, and you're listening to Major League Baseball's Wild Card Round on SiriusXM.
Payamps' first pitch to Iglesias, hit hard towards first, diving stop by the first baseman Hoskins, flips to the bag, safe, and now all the way around to score is Taylor. Hoskins went into a dive, made the play. The pitcher, Payamps, was on his way to the bag to take the throw, but coming around third and never hesitating was Taylor, and he brings home the tying run. It's 4-4.
How many times this year have we said, who puts his head down the most and runs the hardest, despite how hard he hit the ball? Jose Iglesias. This is a ball that Hoskins thinks I'm going to get. Flip to my pitcher. He hits a high flip, and Iglesias dives head first into the bag before the throw hits the pitcher, and the pitcher hits the bag. That is all on Iglesias' hustle right there.
And Payamps a little late getting over as well. He did not break immediately off the mound, but now he can break as slowly as he wants because he's going to the showers. As Payamps has allowed the Mets to come right back and tie the game. Brandon Nimmo will be the batter. And this pitching change is brought to you by the New York Lottery. Get out there and play the newest scratch-off games for a chance to win.
Connection, opportunity, possibility. It's what we all want. Spectrum has built a world where anything is possible, with products and services designed to work better together for a seamless connectivity experience. A connection to family and friends, a connection to education, and a connection to new opportunities. So there's no limit to how big we can dream. That's Life Unlimited. That's Spectrum.
You can count on our friends at Ridgewood Savings Bank to show you the community banking difference with cutting-edge conveniences and a century-long tradition of award-winning service. Ridgewood is a financial partner you can count on today, tomorrow, and all of the years to come. Whether you prefer to bank at your local neighborhood branch, from home, or on the go, they're always here to help you reach your goals. To let our friends at Ridgewood be the full-service banking partner you can count on to support you in your financial journey. Visit ridgewoodbank.com to find out more. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Laborers Local 731 has been responsible for some of the biggest and most celebrated infrastructure projects in New York City, like the rebuild of the World Trade Center and the new LaGuardia Airport. Local 731 provides qualified and competent laborers to fill the demand that the construction industry not only requires but deserves. Its members and leadership have fought hard for wages and benefits that open the path to the middle class that every hardworking American deserves. Laborers Local 731. Feel the power.
Well, lefty Aaron Ashby takes over on the mound now for the Brewers. And you could tell early on that Payamps was not nearly as sharp as he was against the bottom of the Mets order today, relative to how he faced them when he struck out the side against the top of the order over the weekend. Long fly ball probably would have gone out of the park. Great play by Churio, but then the somewhat misplay by Churio to the next batter, Taylor, who doubled. Long fly out by Alvarez. The walk to Lindor. The infield hit by Iglesias. That ties the game. Brings up Brandon Nimmo in a lefty-lefty matchup against Ashby. Lindor at second. Iglesias at first. And the first pitch to Nimmo. At the knees, a called strike. 0-1. It throws hard. 99-mile-an-hour fastball. Ashby up and down with the Brewers this year. Made 2 starts. 14 appearances. 1-2 with a 2.86 ERA. The 0-1 missed inside, and that evens the count 1-1 as he missed with a curveball. Ashby spent quite a bit of time at AAA Nashville and was not impressive there, either as a starter or out of the pen. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Nimmo fouls it right back to the screen. Advantage Ashby 1-2 with Mark Vientos, a right-hand hitter on deck. So both teams, sooner or later, we know that it's already a fait accompli with the Brewers, and the Mets will be into their bullpens. 1-2, here's the pitch. Breaking ball low, 2-2. It's been a struggle at times for Severino over 4 innings, allowing 4 hits and 8 runs. The Mets now working on their third Milwaukee pitcher. Ashby with a 2-2 to Nimmo. Swinging a grounder to the shortstop hole, backhanded by Adames, gets up, bobbles the ball, looking to either fake a throw or make one somewhere, just eats the ball. It's an infield hit for Nimmo, and the bases are loaded as Lindor goes to third, Iglesias to second, Nimmo on at first, and now Vientos will face the left-hand pitcher, Ashby, with the bases loaded.
And think about this from the Brewers' perspective. They had 2 outs. Lindor walks. Iglesias beats out that close play at first. Now Nimmo singles. This has been an elusive third out for the Brewers pitching staff.
Vientos, a single and a walk. 4-4, bases loaded, 2 out in the 5th. First pitch, line the other way, base hit right field. Lindor is in. Iglesias being waved in. Frelick's throw to the plate. Not in time. Sliding in safely is Iglesias. 5-3 New York. Nimmo goes to third. Vientos on at first with a 2-run single. His second hit of the game.
This kid's unbelievable. I mean, you said it at the outset. The fact that he's hitting cleanup in a playoff game this year. And Mark Vientos was optioned to AAA early in the season. JD Martinez took his job, and look at what he's done today. Incredible what he's done in his first breakout season in the major leagues.
So the Mets, and where have you heard about this before? Give up 2, fall behind in the bottom of the 5th, put up 3 here in the top half, and they may not be done yet. Chris Hook, the pitching coach, is out at the mound. And the Mets now with a 2-run lead. We'll have Pete Alonso coming up next.
I think we're all going to sleep well tonight. What do you think?
I don't know. I know the Mets have plenty of life. What we do is immaterial. What they're doing is pretty impressive. 6 runs on 6 hits. No errors. 4 runs, 8 hits, no errors for Milwaukee. And so Pete Alonso, who has walked and grounded to third, will be next. 6-4 New York. We're in the 5th. Ashby, the left-hander to Alonso. His first pitch. Breaking ball in the dirt, gets away from Contreras. Holding at third is Nimmo, but going down to second is Vientos. We'll see how they score that. But either way, the Mets now have 2 in scoring position on what is ruled a wild pitch.
Huge break. That's the kind of break that the Brewers get because of their speed on the bases. Vientos grabs an extra 90 feet for the Mets.
Now it's the Mets trying to keep the heat on. 1-0, the pitch to Alonso. Breaking ball low, ball 2, and Jesse Winker, a left-hand hitter on deck, and I wonder if Ashby is either going to work completely around Pete here, maybe put him on altogether, and I think it's going to be an intentional walk as Contreras was just yelled at from the dugout, and they are going to put Alonso on, but now the Mets are going to go to their bench. Winker has been called back, and J.D. Martinez will come to the plate.
So now you get a chance to platoon this DH spot and play the matchups for Carlos Mendoza. So, you know, Pat Murphy had to think about this, and I think the move to walk Alonso is to kind of force Carlos Mendoza's hand. Okay, you want to pull Winker out of the game, you go for it. Winker's had already a big day with a 2-run triple. But you sit Jesse Winker and you bring in J.D. Martinez, so the Mets hope can maybe find that swing that had been kind of missing in the month of September.
J.D. is 3 for his last 43. But then again, Jesse Winker had been 3 for his last 42 before his triple. So the bases loaded, 2 out, 9th man to bat in the inning. First pitch, swing and a miss at a fastball. 0-1, and that was a 99-mile-an-hour fastball. So because of that slump late in the year by J.D., his average for the year wound up at .235, 16 homers, 69 RBIs. The 0-1 pitch, breaking ball. Did he go around? Yes, he did. Unable to hold the swing. It's 0-2. Nimmo is the runner at third. Vientos at second. Alonso at first. 2 out. Top of the 5th. Mets 6. Brewers 4. A lot of towels being waved again. Now the 0-2 pitch. Fastball in tight. 1-2. Brewers score 2 in the bottom of the first. Mets came back with 3. Brewers score 2 to take the lead in the 4th. Mets have come right back with 3 in the 5th. 3 aboard here. 1-2 to Martinez. Long set. Here's the pitch. Swing on a foul back to the screen. More heat at 99 miles an hour.
Nick Mears, who was the first guy that was up in the Milwaukee bullpen throwing when Freddie Peralta was in trouble, is now getting up again behind the lefty here, Aaron Ashby.
Piamps faced 5 batters, 3 of them scored. 1-2 now the pitch. In the dirt, nice block by Contreras, ball 2. So that evens the count now on J.D. And again, this is the designated hitter's spot. Winker went 1 for 2, getting that big 2-run triple in the second. 2-2. Now the pitch. Breaking ball hit on the ground. Right side base hit. Right field. Nimmo is in. Vientos around third coming to the plate. The throw goes to third. 2-run score. Stopping at second is Alonso. J.D. Martinez with a 2-run single. And the Mets have put up a 5 spot here in the 5th inning. They go in front of the Brewers 8-4.
And if you could just dream of a J.D. Martinez at bat with guys on base and 2 strikes, where does he go? The other way. A little curveball, and he bounces it through a vacant hole. Everything JD does the other way, it just usually leads to success.
Here is Marte. Takes outside, ball 1. So the bullpen, which is usually a major strength for the Brewers, has let them down here in this top half of the 5th inning. 1-0 to Marte. Here's the pitch. Way outside and high, ball 2. And don't forget, there is enormous pressure on the Brewers in this series, because even though they have made the postseason 6 of the last 7 years, other than a trip to the National League Championship Series 6 years ago, they haven't gone anywhere. The 2-0 on the way, a curveball high and outside, ball 3. Keep this in mind, too. It's only the 3rd year that they've had this format, where there have been 3 wild cards, but the team that won the first game of the best of 3 hasn't lost yet. 3-0 pitch, way outside, ball 4, that loads them up. And here comes Pat Murphy, and we'll see who his next contestant is. Out of a struggling Milwaukee bullpen, Nick Mears, the right-hander, has been throwing. And this call to the pen is brought to you by the New York Lottery. Get out there and play the newest scratch-off games for a chance to win. If you heat your home with oil, you must hear this message. Low-price home heating oil is now available to all our Mets Radio listeners at a fixed price that can save you hundreds of dollars a year on your home heating bill. If you think you're paying too much to heat...
Hey everybody, thanks for hanging out with us during this MLB playoff game. The support is absolutely incredible. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for sharing out this link and helping this community grow. We are also running a campaign for a local kids hospital in Toronto, Sick Kids Hospital. It's something that we do here on the channel. As a portion of our proceeds goes donated directly to sick kids every single month. So thank you for making a difference in our community just by being here. Now, you can add to that by making a donation. You can click the link that is pinned in the chat or click this QR code and make a donation directly to Sick Kids Hospital in the Create 100K campaign that was recently extended for our Bills campaign, as well as NHL Toronto Maple Leafs opening night. Thank you for your support with this as well. Super chats are greatly appreciated. I will list the names up in the live streams, so thank you for that support. It is greatly appreciated. I need all the help I can get trying to do as much sports as possible for you, the fans. Cheers, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us. Please send those super chats as well as join as a member, and we'll see you guys back in the chat. Good luck to whichever team that it is you're cheering for. Go Jays, go.
Mears, the former Pittsburgh Pirate, former Colorado Rocky, the third reliever used in this inning by manager Pat Murphy of the Brewers. The Mets have scored 5 runs. They still have the bases loaded. I say still, I should say again, because Marte just walked to reload them after J.D. Martinez, pinch hitting for Jesse Winker, had driven in 2 runs with a base hit while the bases were loaded. So the Mets have gotten 4 RBIs out of their DH spot tonight. 2 from Winker, 2 from Martinez, and now here's Tyrone Taylor. First pitch on the way, swing and a drive in the air to center. In comes Mitchell, makes the catch. That retires the side, but did the Mets ever do some damage? They scored 5 runs. There were 5 hits, no errors, and the Mets leave the bases loaded. Middle of the 5th inning in Milwaukee, the Mets 8, the Brewers 4 on Odyssey Mets Radio, driven by your Tri-Honda dealers.
Let's go Mets!
The Nissan Rogue with available Google built-in helps you make the most of your drive. Take care of the small stuff, like,
hey Google, cool down my car.
And,
hey Google, turn on the dog feeder.
Or change up your adventure.
Hey Google, navigate me to the nearest music venue.
Handle your drive like a pro.
Experience the ultimate connection in the new 2024 Nissan Rogue. Now Nissan offers 6 vehicles with starting MSRP under $30,000. Visit your local Nissan store and nissanusa.com today. Not equipped on all vehicles. Requires compatible device. Sequences shortened and simulated. Activation of Nissan Connect services package required. Only use features when safe and legal to do so. Data rates may apply. Subject to third-party service availability. Google, Google Play, and Google Maps are trademarks of Google LLC. Applies to 2024 Nissan Altima, Kicks, Leaf, Rogue, Sentra, and Versa base models. Trim level described with higher MSRP. All prices are manufacturer suggested retail price. MSRP excludes $13.90 destination and handling charges, tax, title, license, and options. Dealer sets actual prices.
Michelin Winter Tires offer confidence in all types of winter conditions, and Town Fair Tire offers every long-lasting, fuel-efficient Michelin tire at the guaranteed lowest price. Plus, Town Fair gives you the most free services for life with your purchase of Michelin winter tires that keep you going for years to come. For the guaranteed best deal on Michelin tires, nobody beats Town Fair Tire. And I mean nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Headed to the baseball playoffs? Bring a friend free. Buy 1 round trip, get another free. Easy and affordable. NJ Transit is a home run. For details, visit njtransit.com/baseball.
We've got a wild one going here in Milwaukee in the opener of the best of 3 wild card series, and the visiting Mets, and they are going to be the visitors for all 3 games, just put up a 5 spot in the 5th inning and lead the Brewers 8-4. And if there was any talk or thought about Luis Severino maybe having a short outing, at least now they've got a chance to extend him a bit more, facing Willy Adames to lead off in the home 5th. And the first pitch is a sinker inside, nearly clipped him in the leg. And it's ball 1 to Adames, who has walked and fouled out to the catcher. So the Mets 8 runs, 7 hits. The Brewers 4 runs, 8 hits. Brewers ace Freddie Peralta left after 4. The 1-0 line towards third, hooking foul down the line, and the count 1-1. Peralta in 4 innings gave up 2 hits and 3 runs. And then Payamps in that 5th inning, 2/3 of an inning, he gave up 3 runs. Ashby didn't retire a batter, charged with 2. The 1-1 has popped up to the right side of the infield. Iglesias, the second baseman, waiting, makes the one-hand catch, 1 man away. When it's game time, it's Tully time. Next time the Mets are home, check out the famous Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey Bar in center field, where you can grab a game time mule and try the brand new Tullamore Dew Honey and the Honey Surfer cocktail. Tullamore Dew, official Irish whiskey of the New York Mets. Please enjoy responsibly. Here's Bauer's left-hand batter. First pitch is taken a bit high. 1 ball and no strikes. Bowers fouled out to the catcher in the first inning. Single to center in the third. Severino now at 83 pitches, and the Mets have the bullpen up. Here's the 1-0. Taken high, 2 balls and nothing.
Still Jose Butto out there. And again, that 5 spot was music to Carlos Mendoza's ears about how to manage this bullpen. That's a little short-handed.
2-0 on the way. Bowers takes a called strike. Fastball, and it's 2-1. Well, one guy you can't imagine would be available would be Edwin Diaz. Diaz threw 40 pitches yesterday after throwing 26 on Sunday. 2-1 on the way, rides high, ball 3, and we're all talking to Carlos Mendoza about that between the plane ride here last night and the interview session we had with him this morning, and he's not ruling it out. 3-1 the count. Tell you what he said specifically after this pitch to Bowers. Swing and a miss at a fastball, full count. He said he was going to wait to see what Diaz said about how he felt and if he thinks that he's capable of getting the Mets an inning. He said we've kind of held him back at times this year for these reasons. The 3-2 swung out and missed. Strike 3. Blew a fastball by him at 96. 2 men away. Rhys Hoskins coming up, but I've got to think it's kind of hard to imagine Edwin Diaz, after throwing 66 pitches in 2 days, coming into this one unless something extraordinary happens. But he said that he is going to trust his pitchers a little bit more now than during the regular season. First pitch to Hoskins taken for a called strike. 0-1. You know, he says he listens to him during the season, but if Carlos is adamant that his pitcher needs a day, he'll say, all right, I'm glad you feel like you can go, but have a spa day. Take the day off. The 0-1, a slider outside, 1-1. Today, he said he's going to listen to his pitchers a little bit more and basically rely on the trust that's been established between himself, Jeremy Hefner, and those pitchers. 1-1 on the way, taken on the outside corner, a called strike, a fastball. 1-2 to Rhys Hoskins. Mets 8, Brewers 4. 2 out, nobody on, bottom 5. Outfield straight away against the right-handed power hitter. Now the pitch. Swinging a broken bat, pop-up, little flare, shallow right. Iglesias back, makes the catch. Side retired. Good bounce-back inning by Severino. Nothing across at the end of 5. The Mets 8, the Brewers 4 on Odyssey. Mets Radio, driven by your Tri-Honda dealers.
Hi, this is Chris from Coldplay. Coldplay Radio has returned.
For the release of their new album, Moon Music. And an exclusive SiriusXM listener-only performance from Brooklyn.
You know I love you so. Our music, our influences, and the music we love. Coldplay Radio.
Now for a limited time, Channel 17, or listen at home with the SiriusXM app.
A new year in the NBA is right around the corner, and NBA Radio has you covered.
Tatum muscles it up and in, scoring a foul.
Our experts are breaking down the entire league.
That's going to be a fun team to watch.
And bringing you inside the locker room.
It is a must-win game.
Basketball season is just weeks away, and your 24/7 home for hoops is SiriusXM NBA Radio, Channel 86, and the all-new SiriusXM app.
Yeah, I'm talking to you.
While you're
the one that's
listening to
hanging
this
out
game,
and listening to the MLB playoff game with us. We appreciate you being here. Thanks for hanging out with us. Now, please help our community grow and hit that subscribe button and turn on that bell so you don't miss it when we go live for every single MLB playoff game in this season. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, turn that bell on so you don't miss it when we go live. Hit that subscribe button so that we can continue this growth past 40K. We just passed 40,000 subscribers last night. It's time to keep on pushing towards 50K. Thank you for being here for the MLB playoffs. Good luck to your team, and we'll see you guys back in the chat. Thank you.
Mets fans, this is David Stearns, and you're listening to Mets Baseball on SiriusXM.
Get the best seats for the biggest games with a Mets season ticket membership. To learn more, visit Mets.com/memberships. Well, it's the Mets 8, the Brewers 4. The Brewers using 3 relievers in that 5th inning when the Mets scored 5 runs. And so It's Nick Mears who got the final out, getting Tyrone Taylor to fly out. Getting Taylor to fly out to end the inning. Now faces Francisco Alvarez to start the 6th. And the first pitch to the right-hand batter is in for a call strike, a 97-mile-an-hour fastball. And it is 0-1. It's 9-1-2 in the Mets batting order. Alvarez, Lindor, and Taylor. 0-1 pitch. Low and away with a breaking ball. 1-1 to Francisco's. Popped to first and flied to left. Now, as far as the Mets bullpen is concerned, looking ahead, mentioned that Buto had been the first one up. Now the 1-1 pitch. That's in for a call strike. 1-2 to Alvarez. Yesterday, the Mets were using low leverage in the second game, of course, after having clinched in the first. Joey Lucchesi, by the way, deserves quite a pat on the back for the 6 innings he turned in as a starter. 1-2 on the way to Alvarez. Swing and a miss at a fastball, strike 3. And Mears has his first strikeout. 1 away, back to the top of the order, and Lindor. Brazoban pitched an inning. Ottavino pitched an inning. In fact, Ottavino pitched an inning in both games. Brazoban pitched an inning, or at least a third of an inning in the opener. Maton worked for a 3rd straight day, and Diaz a second at the back of the bullpen. First pitch to Lindor, batting left-handed, grounded foul over by the Milwaukee dugout. It's 0-1. So as you kind of look ahead to where the Mets are with their pen, obviously Buto and Garrett, 2 very important right-handed arms, very much available today, as is Ryan Stanek. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss by Lindor to breaking ball. Good curveball there in the count, 0-2. Stanek had been up once yesterday. In fact, we were just about convinced that Stanek was coming in, but Edwin Diaz stayed in that game for the 9th inning.
As convinced as we could be. That was pretty amazing yesterday. It seems like Edwin Diaz lobbied his way back out for the 9th inning and then stay in the game as well.
Oh, he did all right. The 0-2 on the way. Lindor hits it in the air, right center field. Playable for Mitchell, and he makes the one-hand catch, 2 men away. He was told by Jeremy Hefner when he came out after that bottom half of the 8th inning when the Braves took the lead, scoring 4 runs. Hefner basically said, all right, you're done for the day. And then when the Mets rallied and Lindor hit the home run to put him ahead, he went right back to Jeremy and said, hey, give me the ball. I want this. I got this. Going full out Matt Harvey. Here's Iglesias. First pitch taken outside, ball 1. Too soon?
It was kind of, well, that's always too soon for that one. But it was really great kind of just to see him being the guy to get the last out, slamming his glove into the grass yesterday, because it meant a lot to him too.
Here's the 1-0 to Iglesias. Breaking ball for a called strike, 1-1. I'll tell you what else meant a lot. Getting out of the celebration in one piece after what happened at the WBC last year.
Now that's too soon.
That's too soon too, huh? 1-1 to Iglesias. 2 out, nobody on. 8-4 Mets in the 6th. The breaking ball low. And the count 2 balls and 1 strike to Iglesias.
Crazy to even have to think about that, but it was a, as far as celebrations are concerned, there was no bouncing up and down from anybody yesterday on that field.
2-1 pitch. Iglesias lifts it in the air to center field. Waiting is Mitchell. And he makes the catch, side retired. Good 1-2-3 inning for Nick Mears. Middle of the 6th. The Mets 8, the Brewers 4 on Odyssey Mets Radio, driven by your Tri-Honda dealer.
Let's go, Mets!
Here comes the pitch. Foul ball.
For all your home improvement needs, windows, doors, siding, or roofing, visit unifiedwindows.com or call 888-631-2131.
If you heat your home with oil, you must hear this message. Low price home heating oil is now available to all our Mets Radio listeners at a fixed price that can save you hundreds of dollars a year on your home heating bill. If you think you're paying too much to heat your home, then pick up your phone, dial 866-OIL-DEAL right now to see how much you can save on heating oil. The Home Heating Oil Service Center is staffed 24/7, and mechanics are available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to ensure your family is never left in the cold. Just dial 866-OIL-DEAL. That's 866-OIL-DEAL. The heating oil line is now open for Mets Radio listeners. Think you're paying too much for your home heating oil or service? Call the home heating oil line now to see how much you can save off your home heating costs. Don't wait. There is no reason to pay too much for home heating oil. You can get the best service, 24-hour mechanics, and a low flat rate for this home heating season, guaranteed. So call now. Dial 866-OIL-DEAL. That's 866-OIL-DEAL.
Come home to SNY. Not to get to here on our postgame show, as our team covers your team with all the postgame reactions.
That is as playoff baseball as there is.
On the Mets playoff run, Nissan Postgame Live tonight, immediately after the Mets wildcard game, only on SNY.
Here comes the pitch. Foul ball.
For all your home improvement needs, windows, doors, siding, or roofing, visit unifiedwindows.com or call 888-631-2131.
Last of the sixth inning in Milwaukee. Game 1 of this National League Wild Card Series. The Mets lead the homestanding Brewers 8-4. That's going to hold this lead. The baseball faction of the sports fans in this town, and this is a Green Bay Packers town to be sure, but there are going to be some very nervous people if the Brewers don't win this one. Sal Frelick, left-hand batter, leads off. First pitch by Severino, in for a called strike, 0-1. Severino starting this inning at 92 pitches. That's 92 through 5. That's a lot. I believe Buto is still up in the pen. The 0-1 swung on and missed by Frelick, 0-2, and they know that the bridge to Diaz is going to be a little more complicated tonight, assuming that Edwin is not going to talk his way into tonight's game either if the situation permits.
Yeah, this is kind of a daunting spot because you have Frelick and Ortiz. If they get on against Severino, then you go to the bullpen. Now you have the bullpen in against the top of the order, which is scary.
Here's the 0-2 to Frelick. Breaking ball in the dirt, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Mets baseball is brought to you by our local Honda dealers. Contact a dealer for a great deal today. Visit tryhondadealers.com. Joey Ortiz on deck, and then Bryce Terang. And the 1-2 pitch. Swinging a bouncing ball towards first, backhanded by Alonso. Leads Severino to the bag in time, 1 away. The old spring training play. They practice that early every spring. PFPs, pitchers fielding practice. And you'll see him practice it if you're out at the ballpark really early. And you probably aren't because they don't open the gates that early. But very often, we'll see that. I should say maybe very often is a little exaggerated. Occasionally, you'll see them doing PFPs on the field in season. Here's Ortiz. Takes the first pitch. Sweeper on the outside corner. Strike 1 call. Ortiz 0 for 2. Grounded to first. Struck out looking. Now the 0-1 pitch. On the outside corner, a called strike. Perfectly placed sinker at 0-2 and at 97 miles an hour. So despite the fact that he's about to throw number 99, he hasn't lost any velocity. And the 0-2 fouled back to the screen. Came in at 97 again, up in the zone. Ortiz came to the Brewers from the Baltimore Orioles as part of that Corbin Burns deal. Where will he wind up? Now Severino, left leg kick, deals 0-2. Fastball just missed away.
Corbin Burns today for Baltimore. How about this line? 1 run over 8, and they lost. 1-0 Kansas City. And then you have these two teams whose starters have had to bulldog their way through 4 or 5.
Here's the 1-2 on the way. Breaking ball outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, the Mets were so fortunate not only to win the first game, they made their own good fortune the way it ended up, but they benefit so much from it. And here's the 2-2 on the way to Ortiz. Swinging a high fly ball to right center field. Should be easy. Marte bails. Taylor there makes the catch. 2 men away. By winning that first game, they didn't have to use Severino in the second yesterday. And now today, Severino. Tomorrow, Minaya. Probably Quintana on Wednesday or Thursday. Game 3, if necessary, will all be on regular 4 days rest. Well, 2 out, nobody on, and here's Bryce Terang, who's 3 for 3. 8-4 New York, 2 out, nobody on, bottom 6. I hear some Mets fans here. First pitch, Swung on and missed, 0-1. Injury update brought to you by the Rothenberg Law Firm. If you're injured in an accident, the game plan is simple. Just go to injurylawyer.com. Well, they're asking about Kodai Senga again. The 0-1 to Terang, a slider down and into the back foot.
Too soon.
Yeah, well, yeah. Not soon enough, maybe. The count 1-1. At least it wouldn't be soon enough for the Mets to get Senga back. However, Carlos Mendoza says he's throwing the hitters. The 1-1 lifted in the air to left field. Nimmo back a few steps, is there, makes the one-hand catch, side retired. Nothing across at the end of 6 as Severino is now retired 8 in a row. The Mets 8, the Brewers 4 on Odyssey. Mets Radio, driven by your Tri-Honda dealers.
Let's go, Mets!
In a season already plagued with injuries and underachievers, your fantasy football team is faced with yet another obstacle.
The bye weeks are here! The bye weeks are here!
When your star player takes a week off, listen to SiriusXM Fantasy Sports Radio for winning fantasy football advice.
You got to work the waiver wire. You got to make trades. The draft is just a piece of the puzzle.
Our experts tell you who to play in this time of need.
Now the work really starts.
Your frontline source for fantasy football, Channel 87, and on the SiriusXM app.
Every night after the final out, the Round Trip Roundup brings you the scores, highlights, and analysis from every game across Major League Baseball, all in less than 30 minutes.
Swung on and missed, strike 3 and a no-hitter.
It's the perfect way to get caught up on all the night's biggest home runs and best performances.
And a high drive, deep right center.
It's the Round Trip Roundup on MLB Network Radio every night on SiriusXM Channel 89 and every morning on the SiriusXM app.
For the latest updates on Helene, tune to alerts from the Weather Channel. What to expect and who may be impacted.
Hi, I'm meteorologist Jim Cantori. When severe weather is impacting any part of the country, alerts from the Weather Channel for live simulcast of the Weather Channel for the latest information to keep you safe and informed.
Tune to alerts from the Weather Channel for the latest information on Helene.
Whenever active weather is breaking, alerts from the Weather Channel on the SiriusXM app. Just search weather.
Fantasy football players, from start-sit decisions to waiver wire advice. Win your fantasy football league with Fantasy Sports Radio. Channel 87 and on the SiriusXM app.
SiriusXM NFL Radio is your home for the National Football League all year long on Channel 88 and on the all-new SiriusXM app.
Well, we are going to the 7th inning. The Mets are leading the Brewers 8-4. And now Aaron Savali, generally a starting pitcher, and Savali, the former Tampa Bay Ray, made 31 starts in all this year. He's going to come on to pitch now in the 7th inning with the Mets leading the Brewers 8-4. And so if you figure Frankie Montas throws tomorrow, the Brewers can get it to a game 3. Might be seeing Tobias Myers, who pitched against the Mets over the weekend. But boy, the Mets grabbed this game, and they are really going to have the Brewers in a very difficult spot figuring out the pitching and the pressure, Keith.
Absolutely, and the pressure is a huge word because the Mets felt the pressure over the weekend here when the Brewers had no pressure, and the Brewers played great, light and easy. They were winning games like this, and the Mets were tight. Now that is flipped. Here's Nimmo, Savali, big leg kick. First pitch fastball, pumped over the outside corner, a 94-mile-an-hour sinker. 0-1 on Nimmo, with Vientos and Alonso to follow. Aaron Savali, 29-year-old from East Windsor, Connecticut. The 1-0. That's tagged in the air towards center, but Mitchell races over and back and makes a leaping catch in right center field. Now Garrett Mitchell went across the outfield and then back toward the Met bullpen, left his feet, and left to make the grab one away. Savali last year went from Cleveland to Tampa Bay, and then this year went from Tampa Bay to Milwaukee, another trade piece. He was picked up right before the 4th of July by these Brewers. And again, somebody that maybe could pitch for them tomorrow, but well, that's gone for now with this appearance today. First pitch to Vientos. He takes a bender in for a strike, 0-1. 8-4 Mets, top of the 7th. Vientos and then Alonso here. Infield straight up behind Aaron Savali. Big guy. Pitch. Bounces to the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike. They list him at 6'2", 215 pounds. At a Northeastern University. It's the same school that produced Adam Ottavino. Pitched twice yesterday for the Mets in that doubleheader against Atlanta. There's the twist and the 1-1. Little tapper foul up the third base line, and then the swing from Vientos hit Contreras, the catcher, on the backswing. Now Vientos gives him a tap on the shoulder. We are coming to you live from the Bigelow Tea broadcast booth. Bigelow Tea, grab a mug and tea proudly. Mets ahead big in game one. The windup and the 1-2 to Vientos. Slammed in the air toward right field. Frelick racing over toward the line, makes the catch on the run. 2 down. Power Report is sponsored by Bill Vince's Bridgewater Acura on Route 22 in Bridgewater, New Jersey. We haven't seen any home runs yet. We have seen a lot of doubles. On the Milwaukee side, 2 from Terang, 1 from Frelick, 1 from Churio. And on the Mets side, a double from Taylor and a triple from Jesse Winker. We almost saw a Starling Marte home run, but Churio robbed him in left field. Pitch to Alonso, swing and a miss at a high fastball at 94. The count 0-1. So the Mets up 8-4, 7th inning. They'll go to the bullpen for the bottom of the 7th with 9 outs to get to try to grab this first one here at American Family Field. There's the windup and the 0-1. Missed outside. Try to cutter. 1 ball and 1 strike. Now the look that Carlos Mendoza had on his face with Luis Severino as soon as Severino was done with his 6 innings, and the chest bump that those two embraced had. 1-1. That's lifted in the air down the left field line. Hooking foul into the netting. That's 1-2. Alonso broke his bat. Carlos Mendoza and Luis Severino met in that dugout, and they embraced as if Severino had given Mendoza 7 scoreless or 8 scoreless. But what he did today, having given up 2 runs in the first inning, facing 8 batters, getting the lead, losing the lead, and not only staying in there, but sticking it out for the 5th and then the 6th, shortening the game for an already somewhat hampered bullpen. That was huge for Severino and for Carlos Mendoza on what has already been a very huge year for Severino. Savali's 1-2 to Alonso. Bounces in the dirt. It ricochets off Contreras and goes to the backstop, and it's 2-2. Carlos had Luis Severino in the Yankee organization, not just as a major league player, all the way back to his minor league days. So those two go back a very long way. Infield back, playing Alonso to pull. Savali's 2-2. Breaking ball, check swing. He did not go. Held up on the nasty looking curve down and away. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Savali this year with Milwaukee all starts, 14 appearances that he had. He went 6-3 with a 3.53 ERA. That's why we thought he'd be the starter for tomorrow. But Pat Murphy, who just couldn't get anybody in that bullpen to help Payamps, Ashby, or Mears, gone with Savali here. 8-4 Mets, 7th inning. Payoff to Alonso is low. He's on. So Pete now on for the 3rd time. All of them walks. 2 regular old walks, 1 intentional walk. So he's been on 3 out of 4 times. And this will bring up the DH spot, which has been a very profitable spot for the Mets today. Right now, J.D. Martinez digs in for the 2nd time. It was Jesse Winker, whose 2-run triple in the 2nd inning tied the game. He went 1 for 2. Savali from the belt fires. Swing and a miss at a breaking ball. Count 0-1 on Martinez. Martinez and Winker in this spot, both newcomers, of course, to the team. Jeff McNeil has been hurt for the last couple weeks and months. Was not with the team yesterday, which is certainly unfortunate for Jeff. 0-1, swinging a tip into the mitt, and the count 0-2. Now McNeil has a fractured wrist coming back from that. Mets said he got x-rays, and so the x-rays look good enough that Jeff will start some exercises again. And if he plays, the Mets say they would love that, because that's probably meaning they're playing in the World Series, because that's how long it's going to take till he gets back. 0-2 on Martinez. Pitch outside with a cutter. A ball and 2 strikes.
You know, when you think about it, the way things have gone and settled in the infield and the outfield, particularly with Iglesias, the emergence of Taylor, you almost wonder where would McNeil be playing right now if he were here? How often, anyway?
2 outs, 2 strikes on Martinez. Pitch from Savali. Swing and a miss. Breaking ball down and away. Got him with a cutter. Side retired. Well, however the Mets are looking today, they're looking pretty good. They have an 8-4 lead over Milwaukee in Game 1 of the National League Wild Card. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning on Odyssey Mets Radio, driven by your Tri-Honda dealers.
You never have to worry about thinking too big because you have a reliable connection that puts everything within reach. A connection to education, to family and friends, and most of all, to opportunity. That's life unlimited. That's Spectrum.
New Jersey might be small, but there's a lot of wow packed into this little state. We got your down at the beach wows, your top of the mountain wows, your show-stopping wows, your cork-popping wows. New Jersey, it's one wow after another after another. Find your wow at visitnj.org. New Jersey, little state, lot of wow.
Hey, baseball fans, check out ThriveWell Infusion, trusted choice in IV therapy among physicians to experience high-quality care from the highly trained medical staff at ThriveWell. ThriveWell Infusion understands that it can be stressful when receiving an infusion, but it doesn't have to be when you're in one of their private, state-of-the-art infusion suites. Let ThriveWell handle your infusion needs so you can focus on the game. Visit us at ThriveWellInfusion.com. That's ThriveWellInfusion.com. Saving lives drip by drip.
Do you need to upgrade your wardrobe this fall? Visit flagandanthem.com for premium quality clothes without the premium price tag. Super comfortable flannels, jeans and quarter zips, even jackets and boots. Get 25% off your order with code METS24. Flag and Anthem, real clothes for real life.
Want to save money on your home heating oil this season? Call Sloman's at 866 Oil Deal. You can save hundreds. Just call 866 Oil Deal. That's 866 Oil Deal.
Back at American Family Field in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, the Mets have an 8-4 lead over the Brewers. Game 1 of the best of 3 National League wild card. There was a seesaw battle for the first 4 or 5 innings. The Mets, though, really changed the complexion and the vibes of this game, which if you do that on the road, you're going to change the vibes in the stadium. Scored 5 in the top of the 5th to take an 8-4 lead. We haven't seen any runs on either side since. Now, when you're in Milwaukee, the vibes change when you get to this 7th inning stretch because they like to roll out the barrel here. Well, the Mets rolled out the offensive barrel. Unbelievable. Even in the postseason, matches on this game. Now, that is Roll Out the Barrel, the famous song that they sing here. And there is a barrel mascot, yellow barrel with a white body, a pretty plain-looking face. 2 dots drawn on by pencil there, look like, and a little swooping smile. He's dancing on the first base dugout. And he's trying to get this crowd back into it, but we shall see.
So, that was like the original logo of the Brewers when they moved here from Seattle in 1970.
Seattle Pilots. Yep. So, bottom of the 7th, here's Jose Butto on some defensive changes for the Mets. They bring in Luis Angel Acuna to play second base, and that shifts Jose Iglesias to third. Means Mark Vientos is now out of the game. Pretty good job offensively for Vientos, 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs and 2 runs scored. But now the Mets have 9 outs to hold on to a 4-run lead. It is 8-4, and here's Jackson Churio. Give you Severino's final line. Butto winds and deals and nabs the inside corner with 95 for strike 1. Severino, 105 pitches. Mets won't see him until we go to the next round, if they are lucky enough to go to the next round. 0-1, bounces up there, 1 ball and 1 strike. The winner of this matchup in the best of 3, which is either over tomorrow or Thursday, will go to Philly starting Saturday.
Can you imagine? Seriously.
Can start to the 1-1. A little bit low, 2 balls and a strike.
I don't even mean from a surprise element, but that's going to be sick. I mean, the Mets and Phillies have never played in a postseason series. That is going to be something if it happens. We're a long ways away from that.
2-1. Churio flies the ball in the air to right. Marte curling toward the line easily. Gets there, makes the catch, 1 away. Severino, again, 105 pitches, goes 6 innings, 4 runs, 8 hits, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. And again, it's all about the tone and the complexion of the game. We mentioned the score that Kansas City beat Baltimore 1-0. Corbin Burns allowed 1 run over 8 and lost. Severino, 4 runs over 6, and he might win. Now here's William Contreras, 8-4 Mets, bottom 7. First pitch, wave and a miss at 95, and a count 0-1. So I got some scores. Kansas City takes the first one in Baltimore, so they win one more. They send Baltimore home. Detroit beat Houston 3-1 in Houston. 0-1 bounces up there. 1 ball and 1 strike. And then coming up in a little less than an hour, Atlanta is in San Diego for the first of that best of 3. Scoreboard update brought to you by Food Bazaar. Shop local, eat global. Food Bazaar supermarket, foodbazaar.com. The 1-1 fouled back to the screen. 1-2 on Contreras. So even though right now with the Mets up by 4, not that any playoff game is ho-hum, but it feels like a commanding lead, and the air has been taken out of this building. This is a huge day for Jose Butto. Pitching in the playoffs for the first time ever. 1-2. Missed up high. 2 balls and 2 strikes. That was the fastball at 96. And Butto has grown up, not just this year, but the last few years out of the Mets organization. Signed for $5,000 out of Cumana, Venezuela. Working with Francisco Alvarez. The 2-2. Misses low. Count is full on William Contreras. And even as early as this year, Jose Butto was making some spot starts for the Mets. In fact, making such great spot starts that when they moved into the bullpen, the line of questioning for about a month and a half was, when is Butto going to start again? That's how valuable he's been this year. He's been even better in relief. 3-2 pitch, got him, swinging, heater down. Contreras chases a little low. Back-to-back outs for Butto to start the 7th. This copyrighted broadcast is presented by authority of the New York Mets and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Mets. 8-4 New York in the 7th. Here's Mitchell. Lefty, first pitch, taken down and in and all the way to the backstop for ball 1. Well, they have made a scoring change here for those of you who are pencil and paper at home like we are here. Jackson Churio, who hit that RBI double in the 4th. That was the base hit to center field. Then he went to second because nobody was covering. The 1-0, tapped on the ground to short right there, Lindor. He's got it, flings to first in time, inning over. A scoreless 7th for the Mets bullpen, and now need just 6 outs. Try to win the game. Tell you about that scoring change when we get back. 8th inning is next. 8-4 Mets in Milwaukee on Odyssey Mets Radio, driven by your Tri-Honda dealers.
Hey, it's Andy Cohen. Are you a pop culture fanatic like us? Then Radio Andy is your ultimate pop culture destination. From news-making interviews,
I read that Gronk thought that he was going to be in the movie more.
I wish I was in the NFL more.
The deepest dives, high-intensity moments, the hottest takes,
the biggest stars, and all the drama.
I apologize, but I'm not sorry at all.
The ultimate pop culture destination, Radio Andy, Sirius XM 102, and on the Sirius XM app.
You love listening to baseball. You love talking about baseball, and so do we. That's why SiriusXM has the only channel on the radio dedicated to baseball 24/7. It's MLB Network Radio, SiriusXM Channel 89. News, opinions, passionate baseball talk from former players and GMs, plus interviews with players, managers, and executives, original specials, and much, much, much more. All baseball, every day, on your radio. If you can hear me right now, you've got MLB Network Radio, SiriusXM Channel 89, and on the SiriusXM app. You love listening to baseball. You love talking about baseball. You love yelling at your buddies about baseball because they love baseball, and so do we. That's why SiriusXM has the only channel on the radio dedicated to baseball 24/7. It's MLB Network Radio, SiriusXM Channel 89. News, opinions, passionate baseball talk from former players and GMs, plus interviews with players, managers, and executives, and much, much, much more. If you can hear me right now, you've got MLB Network Radio, SiriusXM Channel 89, and on the SiriusXM app.
Scotty Scheffler is the Masters champion.
The biggest events in golf are on PGA Tour Radio, Channel 92 in the car, and on the SiriusXM app.
Mets fans, no matter where you are, you won't miss a pitch with the SiriusXM app. Hear every game all season long. Download the SiriusXM app and search Mets.
8-4 Met lead. I mentioned there was that scoring change, just some paperwork. Jackson Churio in the 4th inning. It was a double to center that has now been changed to a single, and an E8 charged to Tyrone Taylor, and so an unearned run against Luis Severino. So he ends up giving up 4 runs, 3 earned over 6, but that's just paperwork, Howie. The reality is that it is now 8-4 Mets in the 8th.
Okie dokie. So Starling Marte will lead off here in inning number 8, and Aaron Savali's first pitch is fouled back to the screen. It's 0-1. It's the bottom third of the Mets order here, as they're looking for 6 outs from the bullpen, and presumably they'll ask Buto to get the next 3 anyway. The 0-1 on the way to Marte, fouled back to the screen, and the count 0-2. And again, it's very hard to believe that Edwin Diaz is available today, or frankly that they would even want to use him right now, at least if this holds up and you're 4 runs up. The 0-2 fastball high, 1-2 after 66 pitches in 2 days. But it called to mind, and I know it was different, and I'm not talking about in the Ice Age either. Let's go back to 1998. I'll tell you about a fellow named Turk Wendell who pitched for the Mets. 1-2 to Marte, reach for it, tap back towards the mound. Savali up with it, throws to first in time, 1 man away, and that'll bring up Tyrone Taylor. Back in 1998, the Mets were involved in a chase for a potential wild card spot. There was only 1 wild card then. They were in Houston to play a 4-game series, which included a doubleheader on the second day. And Turk Wendell, who was a workhorse to begin with, was unbelievable in those 4 games in 3 days. I looked this up just to be sure. First pitch to Taylor taken for a call strike. Let me tell you what he did. September 14th was the first of that series. He pitched 2 innings and threw 34 pitches. The 0-1 on the way. Taken outside 1-1 to Taylor. All right. The next day was the doubleheader. He came back in game 1 through an inning and 2/3, 18 pitches. 1-1 to Taylor, popped up foul, first base side, over by the stands. It'll settle into the seats, and the count 1-2. So he threw 18 pitches in the first game after 34 pitches the day before. Said to Bobby Valentine, I'm good to go in game 2 if you need me. Pitched 2 innings in game 2 and threw 30 more pitches. So what do you think happened the next day? Again, Bobby was telling us before the game, there's no way I've got Turk today. 1-2 to Taylor, breaking ball in there, strike 3 called.
I was going to say, he probably got option to AAA, right? Normally?
Well, nowadays, yeah, exactly. But you know what happened? Turk said, if you need me, I'm good to go. And would you believe that Turk Wendell not only pitched an inning, he struck out the side on 16 pitches. So in those 3 days, in 4 games, and here's Francisco Alvarez, swings and misses 0-1. In 6 2/3 innings of relief, in 3 days, he threw 98 pitches, allowed 4 hits and no runs, and struck out 7. Is that something? The 0-1 on the way to Alvarez, lined in the air, foul down the right field line, out of play.
Would never happen now.
No, it wouldn't. Now, Turk was already 31 years of age by then, and eventually had arm problems, which cost him 1 year, but he did pitch until he was 37. It's not like they, had to amputate his arm after that season. Turk's a great guy, too. The 0-2 to Alvarez, line softly to short, caught by Adames, side retired. So Savali gets the Mets in order, middle of the 8th inning. It's the Mets 8 and the Brewers 4 on Odyssey Mets Radio, driven by your Tri-Honda dealers.
Let's go Mets!
If you heat your home with oil, you must hear the...
Hey, baseball fans, thanks for hanging out with us tonight for this MLB playoff matchup. Please take a second and hit that thumbs up, hit that like button down below. Take a second, exit out of the chat, hit that thumbs up. It helps bring more fans here into the chat to hang out with us during every single game, because we're going to be live every single MLB playoff game going forward in the month of October, as well as the end of the World Series in November. So, with that being said, let's get back to the chat. Hit that thumbs up button so more people can come hang out with us. And if you're inclined, please share the link. That is the best way outside of the like button to bring more people here into the chat. Put it on the social board, social media, whatever. Thanks for hanging out with us. Back to the baseball. Good luck to whatever team it is that you're cheering for.
This home heating season, guaranteed. So call now. Dial 866-OIL-DEAL. That's 866-OIL-DEAL.
Diving for that grounder got you grounded? Oof. We've got specialists for that. Coaching Little League leave you in big league pain? We've got specialists for that. Orland & Cohen's top orthopedic team has the specialized expertise, extensive training from the nation's best programs, and years of experience so you can feel better, faster. Long Island's premier orthopedic group with offices open 7 days a week. Orland & Cohen is now in Kew Gardens, too. Visit orlandcohen.com.
By now, you should know I can't get a game started without my mug of Bigelow tea. For me, it's Bigelow green tea that keeps my voice going. No matter how hectic your day gets, grab your favorite Bigelow tea and take a moment just for you. Bigelow tea, the official tea of Odyssey Mets Radio. We are going to the bottom of the 8th inning here in Milwaukee. It's the Mets 8 and the Brewers 4. You thought maybe the Mets were all knocked out after yesterday and that this one wouldn't go so well. Well, it didn't start out well. The Brewers scored 2 in the first. But then the Mets, and if there was ever an inning, and there have been a couple in this game, but I'll go right to the top of the second, that is epitomized where this team's been this year. It was the second inning when the Mets came right back with 3, took the lead. They would fall behind again. Willie Adames leads off the 8th. Jose Buto's first pitch, a slider swung on and missed. 0-1. Mets now have Bader in center, Taylor in right, and Marte has come out of the game. So Buto starting his second inning of work. Willie Adames 0 for 2 with a walk today. Right-hand batter. And I think Buto ran out of time. I believe that is a pitch clock violation unless Alvarez called time, did he?
I think Alex Sosi, I keep hearing him saying you can't do that. Maybe Alvarez tried to jump out and get a mound visit or something.
It's a violation. They call the ball.
It is ball 1.
So 1 ball, 1 strike. Now the pitch to Adames way outside with a slider in the dirt. It's 2-1. Don't forget to stay tuned after the game for the Verizon Mets postgame show starring young Patrick McCarthy. Verizon, the network New York City relies on. So much fun for an old guy like me to see these kids here in the booth having fun, calling their first postseason game. 2-1 hit foul over by the Mets dugout, ultimately into the dugout on the third base side. It's 2-2.
Well, they were kind of catering to a young audience today. They served a walking taco in the press room to adults.
I don't know how you eat that and walk.
To adults at a Major League Baseball game.
It was disgusting. The 2-2 fastball taken high, 3-2. I mean, I know we're in Milwaukee, which is the town where arteries go to die. But that's taking it to an extreme. You got national media here, and you're feeding them Alpo? That's basically what it was. 3-2 on the way, swung on and popped up, shallow center, Acuna out, Bader moving in, Bader's under it, but Acuna takes it instead, 1 man away.
Just quickly, for those who've never seen a walking taco, you're at a Friday night high school football game, you walk over to the concession stand, you give them $1, they take a Doritos bag, they open it up, they pour ground beef in there, tomato and lettuce, and go, enjoy. And you go, well, I guess there's nothing else to eat, so we'll have this. And they serve that to us tonight.
Believe that? It's a meal fit for a king. Here, king. Well, here's Jake Bowers, fouls the first pitch back to the screen, 0-1. The great Rodney Dangerfield, of course.
This place is funny. This town is funny with how they.
I'll tell you what.
They dress their dinner plates.
Yeah, the cardiologists are the ones that clean up in this town. I mean, they do anyway, but the 0-1 to Bowers, taken below the knees, 1 ball and 1 strike. They are the thriving players in Milwaukee, brought to you by ThriveWell Infusion, New York's premier infusion and injection center. Saving lives drip by drip. Visit ThriveWellInfusion.com. You couldn't find a healthy meal here if you walked around all day and night. 1-1 to Bowers. Check swing. He went around on appeal to third. Alan Porter charges strike 2.
I know our great friends at ThriveWell Infusion are thinking, man, we're going to get the playoffs. We're going to get a great read. We're going to get somebody with a big performance. And you get the Milwaukee cardiologist. Perfect.
Hey, you get creativity. You buy into this booth. You roll the dice, baby, because you never know what we're going to come up with. That's how we make friends and clients. Here's the 1-2 to Bowers. Taken low, 2 balls and 2 strikes. I mean, you don't get this stuff with John and Susan. This is material here. This is the big time. This is our jobs. 2-2 to Bowers. Buto deals. In there, strike 3 called. Bowers stares at a changeup. Buto has his second strikeout. 2 up, 2 down. You know, the Brewers' last base runner was Churio's RBI double in the 4th inning. So 2, 5, 8, 11, 13 Brewers in a row have gone down.
So it's not a team that's built on their offense. I mean, it shows up from time to time, but a 4-run deficit for them is huge.
Yep. Well, the first pitch to from Buto is line foul towards third, and the count 0-1. So let's discuss Jose Buto here for a minute, because now you start thinking about the fact that Buto's not available tomorrow, whether he pitches the 9th inning or not. But, you know, is he in a position, only 23 pitches so far, where you would send him out for the 9th and save the rest of the pen? It's got to be a consideration. The 0-1 on the way, a little dribble foul to the backstop, 0-2, because as we talked about, when the Brewers, Pat Murphy, kind of aggressively changed pitchers, I don't know if anything was wrong with Freddie Peralta. It makes you wonder. He had the rocky second inning, came back to retire 6 in a row. 68 pitches through 4 is not a ton. We were surprised that he was taken out that early. The 0-2 swung on and missed, strike 3. Buto raises a fastball at 96 to the top of the zone. 3 strikeouts for Buto, side retired, and we cruise to the 9th here in Milwaukee. You cruise in Milwaukee at the end of 8. It's the Mets 8, the Brewers 4 on Odyssey Mets Radio, driven by your Tri-Honda dealers.
Hear the biggest and best soccer clubs in the world battle it out in the UEFA Champions League on Sirius XM FC. After scoring 9 goals in their opener, what will Bayern Munich do for an encore?
Absolutely fabulous goal from Harry Kane!
Find out when the Germans clash with Aston Villa in Birmingham.
Durant's taking a strike. Oh my goodness me!
Villa versus Bayern, Wednesday at 3 Eastern on Sirius XM FC 157 and streaming on the Sirius XM app.
The most important person in sports is you, the fan.
Let me tell you something. I'm a real fan.
And your place for sports talk is Mad Dog Sports Radio, where your voice is heard all day long.
I couldn't wait to get into the truck, turn on 82.
Sharing the thrill of victory.
The joy, the jubilation. I can't stop smiling.
And the agony of defeat.
When is this franchise going to realize people really care about this?
Passionate sports fans call 888 Mad Dog 6.
You gotta love sports.
Mad Dog Sports Radio, Channel 82, or anytime on the Sirius XM app.
Wake up! Wake up, everybody! This is Steve Phillips from the leadoff spot on MLB Network Radio. Join me and former Major League Baseball players Eduardo Perez and Xavier Scruggs as we react to all the latest news and scores across baseball and have plenty of fun along the way.
Steve, you were so right about that.
I don't know if anybody else thinks we're funny, but I think we're funny.
Why are you putting us or we into this?
The leadoff spot, weekdays at 7 a.m. Eastern on MLB Network Radio, Channel 89, and on the Sirius XM app.
24/7, 365 coverage of all things NASCAR. All things NASCAR happens exclusively on Sirius XM NASCAR Radio, Channel 90.
Mets fans, this is Carlos Mendoza, and you're listening to Mets Baseball on Sirius XM.
Boiler, all right, but we go to the 9th inning with the Mets out in front of the Brewers 8-4. And it'll be the top of the order for the Mets against Aaron Savali, Francisco Lindor, Jose Iglesias, and Brandon Nimmo. The Mets looking to get the jump in a short series, a best of 3. First pitch, Lindor pops it up, left side of the infield. Ortiz, the third baseman, arms outstretched, waiting. Now makes the one-hand catch, 1 man away. And that'll bring up the number 2 hitter, Jose Iglesias. There's a Reed, not Stanek throwing in the bullpen. I could see that flowing hair. That's the only way from all this far back, at least with all 4 of my eyes, that can make out who it's pitching, who's out there, and it is Ryan Stanek getting ready for the 9th. Here's Iglesias, and he takes low, ball 1. Again, Mets baseball is brought to you by our new friends at Thrivewell Infusion, New York's premier infusion and injection center. 1-0 I know we've had them all year, Madge, but they're new in terms of the years they've been with us. What happened there? Foul, he took upstairs, ball 2. It went off the glove of the catcher. I've got material here we're working on. 2-0 to Iglesias. Swing on a ground ball to third, right at Ortiz. Gobbles it up, throws to first in time, 2 men away. Again, ThriveWell Infusion saves lives drip by drip, so visit ThriveWellInfusion.com. Well, 2 out, nobody on. And Brandon Nimmo coming up against Stanek in the bottom of the ninth. The Brewers will be due to send up Frelick, Ortiz, and Terang. Nimmo 1 out of 4. Aaron Savali deals and gets a slider over for a called strike. 0-1. Scoreboard update brought to you by Ready Refresh, New York's most reliable water delivery service. That's how you do it. Detroit beat Houston 3-1 today. Kansas City over Baltimore 1-0. The 0-1 waved at and missed by Nimmo. No balls and 2 strikes. A cut fastball. Atlanta at San Diego coming up a little bit later on. 8-4 Mets leading the Brewers. 2 out, nobody on. Top 9. Mets have been out hit 8-7. The 0-2 to Nimmo, and he checks his swing, fouls one into the seats behind third base. We know that Sean Manaea will start tomorrow, and with Aaron Savali being used today, we will assume that it's Frankie Montas for Milwaukee. 0-2 on the way, pulled on the ground to second, to his left, Terang. He's got it, throws to first in time. Side retired, Mets go in order. It's on to the bottom of the ninth inning in Milwaukee. The Mets 8, the Brewers 4 on Odyssey. Mets Radio, driven by your Tri-Honda dealers.
Let's go, Mets!
There's nothing quite like the Honda Civic Hybrid, Accord Hybrid, and CR-V Hybrid when it comes to exhilarating efficiency. With hybrid technology and thrilling capability, these vehicles deliver an electrifying performance on every drive. But what truly makes these hybrids special is the unwavering determination that inspires everything we do. Redefine your driving experience with Honda, KBB.com's best value brand of 2024.
Contact your local Honda dealer today.
Based on 2024 Consumer Choice Awards from Kelly Blue Book, visit kbb.com for more information.
Peerless Boilers wants to keep you in heat and hot water, so check out Peerless Boilers, the world's best-built boilers, and Pavilion tankless water heaters, the world's best-built tankless water heaters. Learn about both at peerlessboilers.com, and remember, Peerless Boilers are the world's best-built boilers.
New Jersey might be small, but there's a lot of wow packed into this little state. Cork-popping wows, time-to-dine wows, Pine Barren wows. Find your wow at visitnj.org. New Jersey, little state, lot of wow.
Do you need to upgrade your wardrobe this fall? Visit flagandanthem.com for premium quality clothes without the premium price tag. Super comfortable flannels, jeans, and quarter zips, even jackets and boots. Get 25% off your order with code METS24. Flag and Anthem, real clothes for real life.
1.3 millones de dólares. ¿Qué te parece? You know you ready to play. Sounds grande, grande.
Play the New York Lottery's new Grande Scratch-Off games with prizes up to $3 million or a second chance to win 1 of 100 VIP trips to Billboard Latin Music Week in Miami. Please play responsibly. Must be 18 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Well, we go to the ninth inning with the Mets about to place baseball fandom Milwaukee on red alert because the Mets trying to get the jump in a 3-game series, and that's been the way it's worked since they've gone to these wild card series. The best of 3s, you win the first one, you are in great shape. Happened to the Mets, they were victimized at home 2 years ago by the San Diego Padres. Right now, in a non-save situation with the Mets up 8-4, Ryan Stanek will come on to pitch the bottom of the ninth inning. He'll face left-hand hitting Sal Frelick to lead off. And the first pitch on the way, right down the middle, a called strike, 0-1. 97-mile-an-hour fastball from Stanek, and he gets it up towards triple digits. Got into 63 games during the regular season to a 4.88 ERA, and the pitch back is up and in. A fastball that gets Frelick's attention at 98 miles an hour, and it evens the count 1-1. Stanek with the Mets in 17 games was 1-0 with a 6.06 ERA. The 1-1 pop foul straight back out of play, and the count 1-2. But Stanek was a lot better in the latter part of the year than he was earlier after coming over. And so he's being asked to keep the rest of the bullpen out of it now. for today. 1-2 pitch. Swinging a fly ball to shallow right center, carrying a little bit. Back is Bader, makes the two-hand catch. One man away. Frelick was fooled. He got out in front of a split. And the ball actually carried a little better than it appeared it might off the bat, but he still had lost his power by reaching. And so 1 out easily. And Joey Ortiz, the third baseman, will be next. He is 0 out of 3. Brewers have not had a base runner since Churio's double in the 4th inning. And then on the other side, and here's the first pitch to Ortiz, bouncing ball towards third, foul, 0-1. The Mets, who lead 8-4, have only had hits in 2 of the 9 innings in which they batted. They had 2 hits in the second when they scored 3 runs. They had 5 hits in their 5-run 5th, and they haven't had a hit since. 0-1 to Ortiz, the pitch. Swing and a miss. 0-2. Good looking split by Ryan Stanek. 15 Brewers in a row have been retired. 0-2 to Ortiz. Stanek deals outside with a fastball. 1-2. He's had postseason experiences, Ryan Stanek, with the Houston Astros.
He's got that low heartbeat. That's what you need outside of just the statistics. Guy that's been there before.
1-2 pitch. Swing and a foul down the right field line, carrying out of play a 99-mile-an-hour fastball. Severino started, struggled at times, but hung in and gave the Mets 6, which was huge because it saved a chunk of the bullpen, which might have been used earlier. 1-2 pitch. Swinging a little tapper foul. He was just reaching for that split, similarly to Frelick, who preceded him and flew out. Ortiz just got it to the backstop. And it's 1-2 with Bryce Terang on deck. Stanek dangles that right arm, brings the hands together. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a pop-up. Foul ground, first base side, charging ahead is Alonso, and he makes the catch near the dugout on the grass, 2 men away. Stanek was charging that way too. Stanek probably would have been best served to stay out of it.
Tell you what, he just jumped on that little magic carpet of hair he had, and he floated his way over there, and luckily for him, he stumbled out of that. It was the Bermuda Triangle with Alonso from first, Alvarez going out, Stanek cutting over, and he gracefully rumbled out of there.
In the wild card series, teams that won Game 1 have won 14 of the 16 series that have been played. First pitch to Terang, taken for a called strike. It's 0-1. So it's the Mets 8, the Brewers 4, 2 out, nobody on. Bottom of the 9th inning in Milwaukee. Stanek brings the hands together. Terang left-hand batter, the 0-1. They want to check the swing at third. He did not go, according to Alan Porter. And the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. With a 4-run lead and 2 out, Terang can get on, and he could run all day if he wants. 1-1, now the pitch. Swing and another foul. It just goes to the backstop, and the Mets a strike away. With a count 1-2 on Terang. Severino went 6, gave up 8 hits, 4 runs, 2 innings of perfect relief by Buto. Stanek has the first 2 here in the 9th inning. Many in this crowd standing. The ones behind the third base dugout, clad in blue, waving orange towels. They're the Mets fans. They're the ones making the noise. Here's the 1-2 to Terang. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Got him with a split. Put it in the books. The New York Mets have come into Milwaukee and taken the opener of this best-of-3 wild card series. They fell behind early, but in 2024 Mets fashion, they didn't just come back. They came right back. Fell behind again, came right back once more, and the Mets are in the driver's seat here in Milwaukee. In the 9th inning for the Brewers against Brian Stanek, 0 across. The final score, the New York Mets 8, the Milwaukee Brewers 4. Back to talk about it in a moment on Odyssey Mets Radio, driven by your Tri-Honda dealers.
Let's go Mets!
Come home to SNY.
Lot to get to here on our postgame show.
As our team covers your team with all the postgame reactions.
That is as playoff baseball as there is.
On the Mets playoff run, Nissan Postgame Live tonight, immediately after the Mets wildcard game, only on SNY.
Cheers to a great day and this ice-cold Corona.
You know what would make this day even better? My grandma's carne asada.
Throw in some music.
We can watch the game. Or we could keep it simple.
Corona, la vida más fina. Get your Corona at ordercorona.com. Relax responsibly. Corona Extra Beer, imported by Crown Import, Chicago, Illinois.
Headed to the baseball playoffs? Bring a friend free. Buy one round trip, get another free. Easy and affordable. NJ Transit is a home run. For details, visit njtransit.com/baseball.
When just one life is saved, it wins the game. Just like in baseball, when the same player has 3,000 hits, it's monumental. LifeVac, the original choking rescue device, is approaching 3,000 lives saved. Hi, I'm Arthur Lee, CEO and inventor of LifeVac. With its place, push, pull technology, LifeVac uses suction to clear the airway and save a life. There's only one proven airway clearance device, LifeVac. Mention code BASEBALL for 20% off your order today. Go to lifevac.net.
Looking for Michelin tires at the guaranteed lowest price? Get to Town Fair Tire for Michelin's Cross Climate tires, offering a design that delivers an exceptional level of long-lasting performance throughout the tire's lifespan. Plus, Town Fair gives you more free services than anywhere else. For the guaranteed lowest price and your best deal on Michelin Cross Climate tires, nobody beats Town Fair Tire. And I mean nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Jelly Roll. The Beautifully Broken Tour. October 7th, UBS Arena. With Warren Zeiders and Alexandra Kay. Jelly Roll, live, on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. For more, visit JellyRoll615.com.
The Nissan Rogue with available Google built-in helps you make the most of your drive. Take care of the small stuff, like,
hey Google, cool down my car.
And,
hey Google, turn on the dog feeder.
Or change up your adventure.
Hey Google, navigate me to the nearest music venue.
Handle your drive like a pro.
Experience the ultimate connection in the new 2024 Nissan Rogue. Now Nissan offers 6 vehicles with starting MSRP under $30,000. Visit your local Nissan store and nissanusa.com today. Not equipped on all vehicles. Requires compatible device. Sequences shortened and simulated. Activation of Nissan Connect services package required. Only use features when safe and legal to do so. Data rates may apply. Subject to third-party service availability. Google, Google Play, and Google Maps are trademarks of Google LLC. Applies to 2024 Nissan Altima, Kicks, Leaf, Rogue, Sentra, and Versa base models. Trim level described with higher MSRP. All prices are manufacturer's suggested retail price. MSRP excludes $13.90 destination and handling charges, tax, title, license, and options. Dealer sets actual prices.
While everyone is listening to the ball game, the Engineers Labor Employer Cooperative is hard at work rebuilding our infrastructure. Whether it's transportation, water, or energy projects, ELEC and the Operating Engineers 825 are ready to get to work building our bounce back. Back here in Milwaukee, the Mets have defeated the Brewers 8-4 in the opener of the best-of-3 wild-card series. Casamigos Tequila toasts tonight's Mets win. The family of Casamigos Tequilas, Anejo, Blanco, Cristalino, Reposado, Mezcal, and the new Casamigas Jalapeno remind you to celebrate responsibly. Don't forget, in a little bit, Pat McCarthy will be along with the Verizon Mets postgame show. Verizon, the network New York City relies on, but he's got more to do before we get to that point because he's standing by right now with Mets second baseman Jose Iglesias.
When it seems fitting that this team falls behind but figures out ways to get it done.
I mean, we're playing good baseball, right? We're facing good teams. We compete in every pitch, every at-bat. JD came through, Jesse with the big at-bat. I mean, Marte swinging the bat well. Sevy's taking the game. He pitched well as well. We're in a good position. We just got to get our rest in and be ready for tomorrow.
When we spoke in the clubhouse yesterday, you said that you respect 90 feet. And on that ground ball, I mean, Hoskins makes a really nice stop on that, but it seemed like Payamps was a little slow to get off the mound. Is that something that you recognize, or are you just going out of the box no matter what?
I just go. I'm going to give everything I got. I just go. I get to beat the ball. I was a huge player in the game. and that got us going, and we scored a lot of runs after that.
Well, it's one of the old conversations. Are you supposed to slide into first base? But it seemed like that was the difference in that play. When do you make that type of decision?
You know what? I think this is the first time in my whole career that I ever slide in first base. It was the right play. My instinct to cover, and I was able to beat the throw, and that was huge for us.
Jose, congrats on the win. Thanks for your time.
Thank you very much.
Howie, back to you.
All right, thank you very much, Pat. Well, Murph's Happy Recap is proudly presented by Flagstar Bank N.A. Flagstar, let's align the stars. Visit them at flagstar.com. In the Milwaukee interview room, momentarily, the Murph's recap will not be a happy one because that's Pat Murphy, the manager of the Milwaukee Brewers, and I'm sure one of the first things he'll be asked is why he took his starter, Freddie Peralta, out of the game after 4 innings. He struggled in the second, but the other 3 innings that he worked, he retired the Mets in order. So he threw 68 pitches through 4, which is not a federal offense. It's a little bit high, but it makes you think there might have been something up physically with Peralta. Whatever the case, the Mets took advantage of the Milwaukee bullpen in that 5-run fifth, and that's where they put this one away, Keith.
Unbelievably, too. If Freddie Peralta was struggling and Pat Murphy had kind of seen enough, let me go to my trusted bullpen, it took 3 human beings to get the 3 outs in the 5th inning from that Milwaukee bullpen. On that side, it was a nightmare with Payamps and Ashby and Mears. It took everybody almost to get out of a 5-run fifth that decided the whole game, because once that 5 spot went up there, it changed the whole game. Neither side scored a run from that point on, and so that was really the point of the game where everything changed for Milwaukee. And the Mets get the win in Game 1, so now they are 1 win away with 2 cracks at it. Try to win it tomorrow and go to Philly, or win it on Thursday and go to Philly. The Mets, 8 runs, 7 hits, 1 error. They left 4. For Milwaukee, 4 runs, 8 hits, no errors, 6 men left aboard. Luis Severino earns the win. Again, when someone signs a contract in the offseason, you never know what you're going to get. Severino is the Game 1 winner in the playoffs. And Yoel Payamps, who was the first one out in that 5th inning for the Milwaukee relievers, he suffers the loss. Time of the game, 2 hours, 43 minutes in front of a big crowd here at American Family Field, 40,022, where once again the final score, the New York Mets 8 and the Milwaukee Brewers 4.
New York Mets Baseball is a production of Odyssey in conjunction with the New York Mets. The executive producer is Ray Martell. Production assistance by Brendan Gambeski and Dan Silverman. And our producer-engineer in the booth is the immortal Chris Matchkowski. Our next broadcast will be tomorrow night when the Mets try to close out the Brewers in this best of 3. Game 2 here in Milwaukee. The first pitch tomorrow scheduled for 7:38 Eastern Time. The Mets pregame is underway at 6:55. And so for Keith Radd and Pat McCarthy, I'm Howie Rose. Thanks for joining us once again. The final score in Game 1, the New York Mets 8 and the Milwaukee Brewers 4. Stay tuned. Pat's coming up next with the Verizon Mets postgame show. This is Odyssey Mets Radio, driven by your Tri-Honda dealers.
New York Mets Baseball has been brought to you by your local Honda dealers. Contact one for a great deal today. And by Bigelow Tea. Grab a mug and tea proudly. The Rothenberg Law Firm. InjuryLawyer.com. Casamigos Tequila. Brought to you by those who drink it. ThriveWell Infusion, the official IV sponsor of the Mets Radio Network. Visit ThriveWellInfusion.com. Bridgewater Acura on Route 22 in Bridgewater, New Jersey. Peerless Boilers and Pavilion Tankless Water Heaters. Visit PeerlessBoilers.com to find a dealer near you. LifeVac, the original choking rescue suction device that saves lives. The New York Lottery. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY. And by Berkeley College. Your potential is our promise.
It's the sound of where you've been and who you are. And SiriusXM has channels for every era of classic country. New Millennium hits are on Y2 Country, Channel 57. The 80s and 90s play all day, every day on Prime Country, Channel 58. And Willie's Roadhouse, Channel 61 is Honky Tonk Heaven. Classic country curated by the legend Willie Nelson. Listen to all these and more across SiriusXM and the SiriusXM app.
SiriusXM has everything a college football fan needs.
He's in trouble and down he goes. The ball comes out.
All the big games are on the SiriusXM app.
Down the sidelines, midfield. It's a race. Picking them up, putting them down.
Plus, hear daily in-depth analysis on College Sports Radio, Channel 84.
There's not a lot of holes or weaknesses on that football team, and they've got the goods where you want to have the goods for a championship caliber roster.
Our experts get you ready for game day every day on SiriusXM and the SiriusXM app.
If you want to win your fantasy football league, you need to listen to Fantasy Sports Radio. From lineup decisions to daily fantasy to waiver wire advice, injury updates, and so much more.
You cannot afford to drop a running back.
Our experts will help you dominate.
I think there's value there on Austin Eckler in PPR formats.
Set your lineup with Fantasy Sports Radio. Your home for fantasy football all season long. Channel 87 and on the all-new SiriusXM app.
Are you regretting eating that gas station hot dog? Yeah, we know. We've been there too. This is a message for baseball fans like you. Did you know that you get a channel that's talking baseball 24/7 as part of your SiriusXM subscription? What? Our lineup includes shows hosted by former big leaguers and executives. Plus, you'll hear from 17 managers each week. MLB Network Radio is on SiriusXM Channel 89. Or just search MLB Network Radio on the SXM app. SiriusXM Sports. We're more than just a game.
A new year in the NBA is right around the corner, and NBA Radio has you covered.
Tatum muscles it up and in, scoring a foul.
Our experts are breaking down the entire league.
That's going to be a fun team to watch.
And bringing you inside the locker room.
It is a must-win game.
Basketball season is just weeks away, and your 24/7 home for hoops is SiriusXM NBA Radio, Channel 86, and the all-new SiriusXM app. Mets fans, after this game, get back to what's really important, your fantasy football team. We're talking about it right now on Channel 87 and on the SiriusXM app.
Mets Postgame Show. Save big when you switch to the network New York City relies on. Head to your local Verizon store and check out the latest deals. Also brought to you by Flagstar Bank NA. Visit them at flagstar.com. Smashburger, 100% certified Angus beef burgers, fries, shakes, and more. The College of New Jersey, the #1 public college from Maine to Maryland. ELEC 825, building our future. And by Orlin & Cohen Orthopedic Group. We've got specialists for that. Now, here's Pat McCarthy.
Once again, a come-from-behind victory for the New York Mets as they took Game 1 of the National League Wild Card Series from the Milwaukee Brewers by a final score of 8-4. Hi, everybody, and welcome back to American Family Field. This is the Verizon Mets postgame show. I'm Pat McCarthy. The Mets, who were third in baseball in come-from-behind wins in the regular season with 41, pull it out once again. This time, the big inning, the fifth inning, 5 runs on 5 hits, 4 of which came with 2 outs as the Brewers gifted the Mets extra outs. When you think about it, probably 5 outs in total for the Mets in that inning, and they took advantage.
That's Jackson Merrill. Batting 6th at shortstop is Xander Bogaerts. Jake Cronenworth will bat 7th and play second base. At first base, batting 8th, maybe the shortest first baseman in baseball. Donovan Solano checks in at 5'8". Don't look at me like that, Jonathan. And Kyle Higashioka will do the catching, and he bats 9th. Again, for the Padres, it's Arise, Tatis, and Profar, Machado, Merrill, and Bogaerts, Cronenworth, Solano, and Higashioka. Those are your starting lineups. Fans are packing in here to Petco Park. It'll be loud and it will be fun. Game 1 coming up next on the Atlanta Braves Radio Network.
They likely did not have
fans. This is Attorney John Foy. Just like you, I know how bad our traffic can be. From congested freeways to bad drivers, accidents can and will happen. And when they do, you know who to call. At John Foy & Associates, our winning team can protect your rights and make sure you get the care and compensation you're entitled to. The call is free, and you pay nothing until we win for you. That's the
strong arm.
Attorney John Foy and Associates, proud partner of the Atlanta Braves.
Shooting drills. A coach who knows the game can teach their team how to improve, but one who genuinely cares about each player You have what it takes. We got this. can inspire them to win. At Truist, we believe the same is true for banking. Because when you work with someone who knows a lot and cares even more, you're unstoppable. Truist, leaders in banking, unwavering in care. Start feeling unstoppable. Visit Truist.com/care. Truist Bank, member FDIC, leading based on top 10 U.S. commercial bank.
City of Hope Cancer Center Atlanta is turning hope into reality, providing personalized treatments for all stages of cancer, with appointments available in as little as 24 hours. Learn more at cityofhope.org.
If it's happening in baseball,
You will have an October to remember.
it's on MLB Network Radio.
It's wide open this year, but it's not going to be the best team. It's the team playing the best that's going to win.
Just about every team that makes the playoffs has some kind of chance.
It is as star-studded a postseason as we have seen.
Don't worry about how you got there. Just win your games in October and then celebrate at the end.
MLB Network Radio, Sirius XM Channel 89, and on the Sirius XM app.
Jose Buta and runs down today to ensure that heading into Game 2 tomorrow with Sean Manaea in what is a win and clinch situation for the Mets, they are in a very good position compared to the Brewers.
In game 162, and the Braves said we're not dying today.
And we're just getting started. Hear every crucial moment of the postseason unfold on Sirius XM and the Sirius XM app.
You love listening to baseball. You love talking about baseball, and so do we. That's why Sirius XM has the only channel on the radio dedicated to baseball 24/7.
It's back and all. You can't keep Jesse Winker down. He returned to the lineup for the first time since Friday and hit a 2-run game-tying triple in the second inning and eventually scored a run. We also learned that they are down, but they are never out. 41 come-from-behind wins in the regular season, 1 now in the postseason, as the Mets rallied back to take Game 1 of the Wild Card Series from the Milwaukee Brewers by a score of 8-4. Take our first break here on the Verizon Mets postgame show. When we come back, we'll take a look at the scores of the other Wild Card games around baseball. We'll get some reaction from the Mets clubhouse, listen back to the highlights, and, of course, get you all set up for Game 2 tomorrow night. That's next when we return to Milwaukee. This is the Verizon Mets postgame show on Odyssey Mets Radio.
This Odyssey Sports broadcast has been presented by Health Markets. Shop for health insurance your way.
Here at Ridgewood Savings Bank, we can help you with our flexible checking, high rates on savings, affordable mortgages, personal loans, and more. All backed by powerful digital tools and award-winning local service. Learn more at ridgewoodbank.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Connection, opportunity, possibility. It's what we all want. Spectrum has built a world where anything is possible, with products and services designed to work better together for a seamless connectivity experience. A connection to family and friends, a connection to education, and a connection to new opportunities. So there's no limit to how big we can dream. That's Life Unlimited. That's Spectrum.
Looking for a replacement window? Find the Anderson 400 Series double hung window at Riverhead Building Supply.
The 400 Series has a timeless style with modern design options to fit the look of your home.
Anderson brand products are the easiest to install, and Riverhead Building Supply makes it even easier.
We'll install your windows for you. Schedule measuring and replacement today.
Visit a Riverhead Building Supply location, call, or visit rbscorp.com.
Just like those pivotal playoff moments, when you're injured, you only have one shot to get it right. At the Rothenberg Law Firm, they make every swing count. With over 54 years of experience, they've been securing victories for their clients when it matters most. From auto accidents to medical malpractice, let them step up to bat for you. Call 1-800-624-8888 or visit injurylawyer.com.
Lawyer for injured ones, injurylawyer.com.
Guess what, people? Wendy's has new saucy nugs. You heard me. Wendy's nugs now come in 7 saucy flavors. Buffalo, honey barbecue, garlic parm, spicy ghost pepper. You can literally hear your taste buds after every bite. I'm serious. Listen to mine. Okay, that's just me playing with sound effects. For a whole new way to nug, gotta be Wendy's. Open till midnight or later.
At participating U.S. Wendy's, hours may vary by location.
In 2024, you get more at Ramsey Mazda. More selection and more savings. Like a new 2024 Mazda CX-5, starting at just $29,276. Ramsey Mazda is the proud recipient of the 2023 President's Club Award and the 2024 Cars.com Consumer Satisfaction Award. Visit RamseyMazda.com. That's RamseyMazda.com. Get more in a new Mazda from Ramsey Mazda. Choose wisely. Choose Ramsey Mazda.
Welcome back to the Verizon Mets postgame show. Mets took game one from the Brewers 8-4, and now just one win separates the Mets from the divisional round against the Philadelphia Phillies, but still a lot of baseball to play over the next 2 days against Milwaukee. Other scores around the wild card: Detroit with a 3-1 win against Houston. Tarik Skubal dominated 6 innings, 4 hits, no runs. Astros scored a run in the ninth, but left the bases loaded to end the game. Then Kansas City shut out Baltimore 1-0. Corbin Burns went 8 innings in the loss, but Cole Reagan 6 innings, 4 hits, no runs, no walks, and 8 strikeouts. Bobby Witt's RBI single in the 6th was the game's only run. They are just getting underway in San Diego with A.J. Smith-Schaller and Michael King. Those are the scores around the wild card series. Now let's listen in to Mets manager Carlos Mendoza.
Carlos, coming in, there was a lot of thought, and I think a lot of people thought you'd be tired coming here after what you went through the last few days. Do you think it worked the opposite way? Maybe you guys were fed off the momentum of what's happened here?
Yeah, it's playoff game. Everybody's tired, But once play ball, you got to go, and it's going to be electric. It's going to be loud. That was the case today. And you just got to feed off that. So there's no excuses. I think everybody's been through it. We're not the only one. Yeah, we went back to Atlanta, played a doubleheader, came back here, but nobody cares. So we were ready to go, he showed, and then we got to do it again tomorrow.
Stay in the front row.
Just kind of on that, were you wondering at all, after as emotional as it was yesterday, the way the game went, celebration, if there would be any hangover effect from that? And what did you see on the plane and at the ballpark this morning afternoon to show you that the guys were fine?
I knew we were in a good spot when we boarded the plane. We celebrated. We got out of the clubhouse in Atlanta, and you could tell right away our mentality was next day, next game. Not thinking too far ahead. Continue to have that type of mentality that we've been having throughout the whole year. One day at a time, one series at a time. And that's what I saw yesterday. Got here today, and we treat it just as a regular day with the way our preparation goes and, the conversations, meetings, outside work. And we went out there and played our game.
Steve, second row in the center.
Carlos, there were 2 occasions today where you guys fell behind and immediately came back to take the lead in the next half inning. Always important to do something like that, but especially in a road playoff game, to be able to take the momentum away and not necessarily let the crowd get into it. How much more critical is something like that?
Yeah, and those are some key moments. They take the lead and we answer right back. I thought today the at-bats were pretty incredible. That inning with Vientos lead off, and then the walk to Pete, Winker coming through, and then you just continue to add on. But, yeah, you're right, because they punch, we punch back, they took the lead again, and then we were able to bounce back and continue to punch and just continue to stay aggressive. We put the ball in play when we need it. We ran the bases well. We put pressure on them. The hustle by Iglesias there, and then Taylor not stopping and just scoring on that play. So important games like this when the crowd is involved. They were pretty loud today, and we expect it to be the same way moving forward here. I mean, it's the playoff, and it was a good job by the guys today.
Third row on the right.
You guys have been really good with 2 outs all year long, and in that 5th inning, to be able to put 5 runs on the board with 2 outs, what is it about your lineup in these big moments that you mentioned where you guys could come together as a group to keep the line moving as opposed to 1 or 2 guys?
Yeah, we have a deep lineup, and we can we can beat you in a lot of different ways. When we got guys rolling, we not only control the strike zone, we have guys that can get on base. We got guys that can hit the ball out of the ballpark, but we also have that ability to put the ball in play when we need to. Use the whole field, stay short, and that's what we saw today. Iglesias with 2 strikes, I think it was 2 outs. Nemo, tough left-on-left matchup. Just staying in there, putting the ball in play, not trying to do too much, using the whole field, gets an infield single. JD with 2 strikes, not trying to do too much, professional hitter, knowing the situation, let me put it in play, let me go the other way. Vientos, same way. So, like I said, not only we have the ability to hit the ball out of the ballpark, but just having the awareness of the situation. And I thought we did a really good job today.
Second row on the right.
Carlos, what did you think of Sevy today, especially after that first inning, how he started and then he really responded? What did you think?
Yeah, he battled. They made him work. That first inning, we don't make a play. First batter of the game, and then a couple of ground balls got through, and he kept making pitches. They didn't chase. He was just missing in the strike zone, and they didn't chase. They forced him in the zone. But he grind through it, and then he settled in nicely. And for him to give us 7, especially where we were at bullpen-wise today, it was huge for us. He's been in these situations before. He likes to be in those moments. He knows the situation. He knows what's at stake, and he did it. I was having conversations with him, and he went out there and continued to make pitches and gave us a solid 6 innings.
Same row, Dave.
Carlos, you mentioned how loud it gets in here and the cheering in those early innings. Can you guys feel it when you suck the air out of a building like you guys did and kind of turn it? I mean, does that give you guys energy by reversal like that?
I mean, I don't think we need that. We control the things we need to control. And when we go out there and play our game, good things will happen. Like I said, they're going to be loud, and they will continue to be loud. And we just got to control our emotions and just play our game. And we did that today.
Fourth row on the right, Tim.
In the 4th inning, Severino had blown the lead. They had 2 more runners on in scoring position. Buto was in the bullpen. Hefner went out. How close were you to pulling Severino? One more hit or?
Yeah, I don't necessarily, recall, but I was knowing that I was kind of short in the back end today with some of our high leverage relievers. So I don't think I needed to be as aggressive, but also understanding it's only 3 games, so I can let the game get away. I was just gonna let it play out, but I needed to have somebody ready. I'm just glad that he continued to make pitches and he found a way.
And then after the 4th, coming off another long inning there, how committed were you immediately to leaving him in for the 5th versus, sending him back out after a long 5-run rally?
Yeah, I think at that point I was either a batter to batter. I was gonna maybe 2 guys get on. I was just gonna let it play out. And like I said, he found his rhythm and he found a way and gave us a solid 6.
Third row on the right.
Within 24 hours, you faced 2 pretty tough bullpens, the Braves and the Mets, the Brewers. What does that say about your team's tenacity?
Yeah, no doubt about it. Yesterday against the Braves, not only the starters, but they're high leverage guys, and we were able to get to them. And then today, this is a really good bullpen. And we were able to put together some really good at-bats. We got good hitters. We stick to our approach today. Not all the time is going to happen because they're really good. I'm just glad that we were able to execute today, and we got to do it again tomorrow.
All right, we're just going to do a couple more. Back to Mike in the first row.
Could you have used Diaz if you needed him tonight?
No, he was down.
Second row on the right.
Just how surprised were you that they pulled Peralta, and then how encouraging is it that you were able to kind of work and tax kind of a lot of their bullpen?
I wasn't surprised. They've been aggressive the whole year, and they got a good bullpen. That's the way Pat managed his club, and we were ready for it. We know that they're going to be aggressive. Those guys, there's a reason why they're a really good ball club. It's because they're pitching, their defense, their bullpen is legit, and I'm just glad we were able to get to them today.
Thanks for your time, Carlos. See you tomorrow.
That was Mets manager Carlos Mendoza after tonight's win against the Milwaukee Brewers. And, yeah, he talked about that sequence there with Severino and just his ability to be a little conservative with him there and not be as aggressive as, say, Pat Murphy was with Freddie Peralta. And it paid off because now the Mets bullpen is in a very good position heading into Game 2 tomorrow. That was the Clubhouse Report, sponsored by Wendy's. Savor the drip of Wendy's Saucy Nugs Party Pack, open till midnight or later. Take a break here on the Verizon Mets postgame show. We'll get some more reaction from the Mets clubhouse, plus listen back to the highlights when we come back to American Family Field. That's next on the Verizon Mets postgame show. This is Odyssey Mets Radio.
Now through November 1st, SiriusXM is giving away a pair of tickets to every MLB postseason game through the World Series. Listen to MLB Network Radio for the clues and be the first caller to correctly name the postseason hero, and you'll receive a pair of tickets to an MLB postseason game. MLB Network Radio has your chance to win on SiriusXM 89 and the all-new SiriusXM app. No transportation will be included in connection with these prizes. For full contest information and official rules, visit SiriusXM.com/MLB postseason heroes. No purchase necessary. Open only to current SiriusXM subscribers prior to September 22nd. Must be a U.S. resident over the age of 18.
SiriusXM has everything a college football fan needs.
He's in trouble and down he goes. The ball comes out.
All the big games are on the SiriusXM app.
Down the sidelines midfield. It's a race. Picking them up. Putting them down.
Plus, hear daily in-depth analysis on College Sports Radio, Channel 84.
There's not a lot of holes or weaknesses on that football team. And they've got the goods where you want to have the goods for a championship caliber roster.
Our experts get you ready for game day every day on SiriusXM and the SiriusXM app.
If you want to win your fantasy football league, you need to listen to Fantasy Sports Radio. From lineup decisions to daily fantasy to waiver wire advice, injury updates, and so much more.
You cannot afford to drop a running back.
Our experts will help you dominate.
I think there's value there on Austin Eckler in PPR formats.
Set your lineup with Fantasy Sports Radio. Your home for fantasy football all season long. Channel 87 and on the all-new SiriusXM app.
The NASCAR Cup Series is on SiriusXM.
Let's go, man!
We're back on the track Sunday.
1 p.m. Eastern.
It's the Yellowwood 500 from Talladega Superspeedway.
Checker flag, baby. Yeah.
On SiriusXM NASCAR Radio Channel 90. In the car and on the all-new SiriusXM app.
Oh, yeah!
Get closer to everything that moves you wherever you are with the SiriusXM app.
Let's make some smoke and drink some beer. Yeah!